Hi, everybody. How's it going?
Hey.
Hey, Brady. Thanks for jumping in for Try, who is still in Germany.
Oh, hey. It's good to be here.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of short notice. I think I asked you like yesterday or the day before.
Something like that. Yeah, I wasn't even at home, but I was like, I'll be home by the time we got to do this.
I didn't stream last week because I went to see Bit Brigade, who was
Hmm.
playing locally. If you're familiar with it, I'm sure you are. They seem like somebody you'd be familiar with, but if not, they do. They're a band that plays a game soundtrack while
Hmm.
someone does a speed run of the game in front of the audience. And so they,
Oh, that's awesome. No, I've never heard of them.
oh,
That's
it
cool.
was great. It was a great show. They played locally, and
Hmm.
they were playing Castlevania and Zelda.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I went with a friend of mine who was not had no familiarity with speed running or anything like that. Like he
Oh,
liked
oh wow.
Castlevania, and
Hmm.
played Zelda. He's the same age as me. I mean, he might be 2 years younger than me, but
Hmm.
he's a big Castlevania fan. Grew up with it, and I was like, oh, so you don't really know anything about this kind of thing, like speed running and stuff. And he's like, no, no. I'm like, well, you are like in for a treat because I think that your mind is going to be blown, and it
Yeah,
was.
just watching people stunt on these games, right? Like do
Yeah,
things you'd never imagine are possible. Yeah.
exactly. And it was a great time. It was very very surreal. So
Mhm.
we this is a band that I saw them I think at Magfest in 2012,
Okay.
perhaps maybe 2013, maybe 2014 as well.
Okay. Yeah, I ended up going to the MagFest for the first time. The MagFest that was just happened a
Oh,
couple like
really?
yeah, I'd never been before. It was ridiculous. It was crazy and fun. It was amazing. Like the way they had it set up, and like it's like the dealer's room and the artist alley are together, and like that's all connected to the gaming setups,
Hmm.
and that's like 24 hours. I was like, that is ridiculous. Like I think I stayed up like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning playing games,
Yep.
and then when I
Yep.
left, there were still artists and stuff doing stuff in the dealer's room and stuff. I was surprised.
And that's what's kind of crazy about it is because it never closes. It just
Yeah,
goes like,
yeah,
the 4 days or whatever straight, the long weekend essentially, right?
yeah. It was like 4 days. We went there a day early with me and my buddy Charles Mugg. People might know him as Keegan. He plays shmups, and he was like top player in like Ikarga and a
Oh,
bunch of
wow.
different things. Yeah, he like back in the day. Yeah, he plays shmups. He's people would know him as like Keegan.
Mhm.
But I went with him, and also my buddy, and I stayed with my buddy John Kim and Artist Black. They had a booth, so I stayed with them
Oh,
and helped them
cool.
with their booth. Yeah, selling art and stuff. And I've known him. I've known John forever, and we worked together. And he's an animator, so it was good to see him for. But I was blown away. I was blown away by MagFest, and of course couldn't really get into the Proto Man concert at
Oh,
all.
really? See, it is way bigger than the last time we went. Last time we went was 2014. I think we stopped going when the hotel would sell out like immediately. Like you
Yeah.
almost had no chance. And I almost felt that if you couldn't stay in the hotel, then
Mhm.
it loses a big part of its appeal
It's
because
Lester.
yeah, because if that's part of the coolest thing. One of the coolest things is just being able to go out at all hours of the night and then
Mhm.
go back and rest, do whatever, and it just like never stops. But if you're staying
Yeah.
someplace else, then you don't have that freedom quite as much.
Yeah, we lucked out because Black, she got into the uh, artist alley. They had a lottery, and she won the lottery to get a reservation in the actual hotel. So even though like because I guess because if you're in the artist alley, they give a chance for people in the artist alley to get a place there, and we lucked out, and
Hmm.
we split the cost and everything. So it was only like I think for me like $400 or something for like 4 or 5 nights or something because we split it 3 ways. So it really worked out, and I lucked out to go because like otherwise I wouldn't have been able to get in because like I really went in like thought about going late. Like I was like, oh, like in January or something, set it up, and
Right.
it really kind of worked out. like by happenstance. I mean, I don't think it's too bad staying at the other hotels though. My friends did, and it's just like across the street. It's like that National Harbor is really like it's not like a bad part of Maryland or anything.
Right,
so
right. And it's like this.
It's like a tourist town, really.
Yeah, it's just like a little. It's like a little island, I guess.
Yeah. More. Yeah, it's like that, and it's got like the Ferris wheel, and it's just got all these little like restaurant spots and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, I that was it. You say Bitmap Brigade? Is that the
just Bit Brigade?
Bit Brigade, okay.
And it was cool because and it's like it was very fun at the same time because I was here with this friend who doesn't really know anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
But before I went, I tweeted that there was gonna be no stream last week, but I was going to see them.
Mm-hmm.
And I had seen them like years and years ago. But anyways, before the show started, like after the openers and before Bit Brigade went on,
mm-hmm.
like the guitar player for the band came up to me and was like,
"Oh, really?"
was like, "Hey, like thanks for coming and for like spreading the word that you were going. I've been watching the show for a long time." And it's like surreal to me because like I had seen them play before we started the channel. So it was like,
it's like you're a fan of them, but they're a fan of you too. That's like always a weird thing too, right? Yeah.
Yeah. It was kind of surreal, but it was like, it's like, it's so cool that you're playing here, because they had played at the same place last year.
Mm.
And I was going to go then, but for some reason I was unable to. And they're like, yeah, when we played here last year, not a lot of people came. But here, like there's a lot more people this year.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So, I think that the word kind of spread that, like that it was a good show, and and it's more, I guess, in a way, it's more like it's cooler to see people that are into that kind of thing when you're not at a place like MagFest, where like that's like all that's going on, so people come from all over to go and see that stuff. But when you find a lot of local people that are into this kind of thing, then it was just like kind of a cool atmosphere, I guess.
It's cool to see like somebody come just for that, because you don't go to MagFest just for the concert, right?
Right.
Like that's just like a bonus thing. And of course, you're going to have like nerd people coming to MagFest.
Right.
Whereas like going like to a venue and all these people are there. Yeah, we went to we went and saw Ninja Sex Party. And
what's their faces?
That's like from Game Grumps. Yeah,
right.
Danny. We went to see them, and it was crazy to see all the people around. And also, we went and saw Game Grumps live as well. I lucked out because did I ever tell? Like I designed the Game Grumps logo for Aaron.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I designed that logo.
Constantly, blow me away with the cool things that.
I've been very lucky. I've been very lucky. Yeah, I did that, and I did their Starbomb album logo for the Triforce one. A couple things like that. So like I went and I got I was like, hey, can you give us tickets? I know you're in town, and Aaron's like, yeah, sure. And we went and saw him, and that was in like Washington, so like DC, which is like about 30 minutes from me, and like. I was blown away just like how many people were just like there. I was like, wow, this is like, this is these, it's even something that you would assume is like a niche thing.
Yeah.
So many people are going out to see. And and maybe it's just, I feel like there's a novelty to going and doing like a group thing with people now, because we are so like disconnected, and the way we're connected is electronically now. Yeah. Right. So there's like a hype to like, let's go out and see this thing, Mm-hmm. Like I have a friend we were talking about, and he wanted to go see Ghostbusters. It's coming out. The was it Frozen Kingdom or whatever it is?
Yeah. I didn't realize that's coming out in like 3 weeks or
like 3 weeks. Yeah.
How does?
And he was like, hey, do you want to come up and see this? And my friend's going to be out and busy. He's taking his kids to like the whatever that lodge thing is called. It's for kids. So we couldn't go do it. And we're saying, well, did you watch Afterlife? And he says, no. And I was like, well, why do you want to go see the sequel? Or do you want to watch it now? and he doesn't like to watch new things, but he wanted to go see a movie together just because we are together versus like just watching that movie together. Like it's the spectacle of going to the theater and doing something outside the house, right?
And also experiencing that movie together for the first time, right?
Yeah, exactly, all together, yeah. Because we went and saw Afterlife all together, me and my buddy and his kids. We took his kids and everything, and like it was a blast. And we all had that movie has a lot of nostalgia bait in it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And because we were all together, and me and my buddy loved Ghostbusters, we it got us. Yeah. Even if it had like some. There are things people can gripe about, but I think it like if you were a fan of that original movie, it was like we have all this nostalgia stuff here for you.
Yes.
And it got a lot of people easily that way.
Yeah. I've been laughing about it all day since I found out that movie is coming out in 3 weeks because I think the week after that. So there's Ghostbusters Frozen Empire coming out. And then there's Godzilla and King Kong, the new Empire. Right. There's a lot of Empire happening.
It's like, that's where you replace Empire Strikes Back, and the next week after that, like,
yeah. I wonder if either one of them are like, like so close together. Like, I wonder if people will get confused. Maybe it's just one shared word, but it's like it's like so many empires.
All the empires. It's weird to me that they're putting that movie out in March, instead of like October. But I guess they must have thought there's too many horror movies last year. Maybe I don't know. It's weird that's happening so soon, because I know that they didn't film it until very recently. I'm gonna start the game. Because I do want to say really quick though, like just like kind of closing on the whole Bit Brigade thing. It was very funny. Like after that happened, because then I had like 2 other people be like, like I knew you lived local, but it's like cool to see who would watch the show, And my friend who was like not connected to like anything, and he's like, look at you. Yeah.
So it's kind of like, what the heck is going on?
Like, does he know that your show's like popular and everything, or?
Well, that's kind of the thing. He knows that it's like, he knows that I do it, and he knows that it's popular too. Like, I don't know how much he knows that it's that it is like what it is, I guess.
Like, he doesn't really know. Like, that's interesting too. Like, my friends have like no idea. Like, they're like, okay, we know you work in games or whatever, but they've known me for so long that they're not like enamored by any of that stuff, right? Like, and they have like a vague idea, but it's like whatever to them.
Yeah, I just think that it's not really possible to understand, I guess, unless like you like follow closely, I guess.
Yeah.
So I'm playing the MVS cartridge off of a real MVS cartridge. I do have a Neo SD as well, but I'm just playing the real thing.
The real deal, which is this. Yeah. Okay. So, set the heroes up as much as you can.
Yeah, I've never finished it. So we'll see how it goes. And I'm using the 8-bit Do Neo Geo wireless.
Oh, okay. We'll see how the input lag stacks up.
Yeah, with a blue retro receiver. Off to a bad start. But yeah, so you were like, oh, we should both play a Metal Slug, like play because you're a big fan of the second one, and you were thinking
yeah. Like,
if we had more time to set up, we could have done like a online co-op, using the what is it called?
Well, the Steam version of 1, X, and 3 have online, but you can play it in Fightcade. You can set up Fightcade and then do rollback and everything, and it works really, really well. So you could do it there, and it's just a lot of fun. I was taking my friends through it, and I'm pretty good at the second one. Like, I can get through the first 3 or 4 levels without dying. So like, I've played it a lot. So it's just fun to play it.
Yeah.
And there's no harm. There's no nothing wrong with credit feeding these games, especially the later ones, because they get really, really hard.
Yeah.
Like just ridiculous. Actually, it's funny. I played through. You've heard of Dolphin Blue, right? Like it's sort of like
Yes. Yeah.
Atomic Wave Metal Slug. I played that for the first time recently, and that game is like I can't even understand. Like it's impossible. Like I was like the later levels. I was like, is there a way to even like with the Metal Slugs at the very least, as hard as they are, that you can single credit them, right? Like it's doable. But like playing like. There must be some sort of system in Dolphin Blue I don't understand, because like I don't see how there would be a possible way to not die in that game.
It's true. You know, I've just fed it like using playing it on like on a mode.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was playing it on a like a GDMU or whatever, right?
Oh,
so, like,
yeah.
So like I was just like, how
do you play it for real?
Yeah, how do you really play this? Like, is there a way, or is it just like I've never looked at like a run of it or anything. Like, there has to be a way, but like I can't even fathom it. Like I can't. I could not even. So if you duck and you throw, you should throw grenades out of versus the tank cannon pieces.
Yeah,
it'll pop grenades. Yeah, okay, you know that. Okay. I don't know like how much you know, but like if I give you tips and it's like, don't patronize me, let me know.
Anything is welcome. Anything.
Like I said, I know where most of the stuff in Metal Slug 2 is, and I can tell you at the very least.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you did the slug attack. Oosh. No prisoner.
Yeah, I mean.
You got two.
What's that?
Oh, you got two. You got two refugees.
Oh, there was $5 from Dad1153.
Oh, it just came up. Love the newest mega episode about ROMs, capital ROMs, hacks, etc. Smiley face, thumbs up. Kept me company overnight while making videos for my little YouTube channel. Just past 3K subs. Oh. Thank you so much for the donation, and awesome on your 3K subs, dude.
Yeah. I realized, I think, midweek that I hadn't put out a marathon video in like over a year, I guess. And so I put together like 3 of them to release over the next several over the course of the year, I guess. The videos like do extremely well, and it was silly not to do just like more of them more recently than a year ago. They just they are what they are. Like they're just compilations of old videos, which are fine though, because a lot of people like that kind of thing to put them on in the background. Well,
interesting, but yeah. Oh, for sure, because like I actually got into I love the how like the crazy perspective on the clock tower and stuff in the background here.
Oh wow, it's like falling over, right?
Yeah, like this one has some really. I mean, 1 and 2 I feel have some of the most amazing background art to it. But this one has like such a mood to this level in specific. Like the ruins of the war-torn town. Like I only got into GameSack like pretty recently. Mm-hmm. So like recently within the last couple of years. So like he has like so much content that I had never watched before. Oh, so like when he started putting out all those compilations, I just put on a lot of them and watched them that way.
Yeah, that's really he was like the inspiration for me to do it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Because it just made sense as like a way to just put them on in the background, and you do that. You make these really long videos, and I think when people watch playlists, there's a very good chance that eventually YouTube will like move you away from it. Like,
oh yeah, where it's like, oh, you definitely want to watch this and not the thing you're actually trying to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just made sense. It made sense, and I know that like I have the setup tour is my next video.
Okay.
It's been slow this week. I've had some freelance stuff, but also I've been doing my wife works for a nonprofit, and they have this
Mhm.
big event coming up, and like one of the main people at this company is retiring, and so there's people taking over, and they wanted to like make these new videos for like to like pitch online. I guess they call them impact videos.
Yeah.
And like I donated my time to like in equipment and my abilities to help out and do this stuff like as a donation. And that is the event that these are going to be showing at is next weekend. So I've just been like really focused in on that the last, I don't know, like 2 weeks, I guess. But we shot a lot of the stuff. We shot like 9 interviews or something.
Oh, wow. That's a lot to do in 2 weeks.
Well, we shot the interviews like a month and a half ago.
Oh,
but the
so
rest
you've been
of the
out doing all the editing.
Yeah, well, I got to tell you though. Yeah, I'm doing all the editing, and do you have to use Premiere for anything?
Always, like everything.
Okay, so if you have to do anything with interviews, they recently did that text-based editing. They added like a text-based editing where you can it uses like an AI transcription service. And
so like it figures out like what the text is in the interview, and then you can like
highlight the text and copy and paste it into like another sequence, and it will just copy those words, and you can cut words out of the text to like to give yourself like a kind of a rough soundbite that you can like like finesse from there. But it's actually like incredible how well it works.
Oh, wow. So it's like actually like if you edit the interview like you would a text interview, and then it pulls the clips together for you.
Yes.
Wow, that's amazing considering like I remember when for the Castle of Cagliostro in that David Hayter plays Lupin in one of the dubs, and so we interviewed him, and I had like an hour and a half of like interview with him, and I needed to cut it down to like 30 minutes or something, 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And like I just remember like how hard it was to cut that down.
Just to get it so that it like flows like nicely.
Like, and I can't imagine doing that. Yeah, exactly. And like I feel like if that existed like 8 years ago or whatever, it would have been so much easier. It was funny that we did that interview before Metal Gear Solid 5 came out, and everybody thought he was joking about not being in it. And so, and I knew he was serious at the time because when we interviewed him, we asked him like, what because Lupin the Third is a thief, right? Mm-hmm. So we were like, if you were to do a heist, a Lupin the Third style heist, what would you steal? And he was like, my job back on Metal Gear was his answer.
Oof.
And when he said that, I knew he was dead serious online about not being in it. Like I knew, and that was like a year or so before the game came out. So I felt so bad for him because like it was so obvious that he loved Snake and loved to put his heart into it, right? So yeah, I will say that guy, like they say never meet your heroes. That guy like lives up to being a good guy. Like he like donated his time, came to like a hotel in California. Like he didn't want any kind of like he just loved this. He loved that he was in this Miyazaki movie essentially.
Yeah. And
he wanted to be a part of it. He was so nice and so kind to work with us on that. And he did we did a trailer, and he did like some VO for the trailer for it, and he was just so generous to us, like such a good, cool guy.
Well, there was like some speculation that he was gonna like that if they do like another Metal Gear Essential collection, that they put 5 in there, like if he was going to like re-record all the voice,
all the 5 lines that Kiefer says. You mean like
yes. Dude, you know what? It would have been totally fine if he did the voice at the very end of the real Snake.
Yeah, it would have made sense, right?
Yeah, like that would have been totally fine, and would have justified everything.
Yeah, the problem is though, Ground Zeroes is the real Snake, so it's not the fake Snake in Ground Zeroes, and Kiefer was in both. So like,
yeah,
it and it's one of those things where I would love it if they did 5 and there was like a mode where you could turn on like Hader's voice, because like that really, it's a neat game, but that really took me out of it. Like I'm very voice loyal. Like if there's voice actors or something, I really don't care like how old you sound, right? Like I like just keep doing it. Like they had Alan Young doing Scrooge McDuck until he was 97,
right?
And like even though he was a little wispy in that DuckTales game, he was still Scrooge. He still had it.
Yeah.
Like I didn't mind that he sounded a little old. It's like what was it? People had problems with that new Indiana Jones, but
right, yeah.
The thing that I didn't have a problem with is they did like the beginning is like a flashback and he's like in his like 30s or whatever. Like they de-aged him.
Yeah.
But his voice, he still sounds like old Harrison Ford, right?
Yes.
But that didn't bother me because I was like, I would rather the real actor do it.
Yeah, instead of AI.
Yeah, instead of them AIing it or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like even though he sounds old, he's still Harrison Ford. He's still acting. He's still emoting, right?
Yeah.
I would rather that than have them try to like find a sound alike or what have you. I know everybody's like really looking forward to that new Indiana Jones game, and the CG for Harrison looks good, but like I don't think that Troy Baker sounds like Harrison Ford to me. Like and so like that really, and that's no slight to Troy Baker because he's like an amazing actor and everything, but like it really takes me out that it's not Harrison Ford, because like Harrison Ford has like a specific cadence to his voice that like it's hard to replicate. Like the only person that I've ever seen that can really replicate Harrison Ford's cadence is like Mark Hamill. Like have you ever heard Mark Hamill's
yes
his it's like he can replicate Harrison Ford.
Really quick, there was a oh no, it's okay, I got it. There was $10 from the Gaming Nostalgist. Thank you. Saying, evening guys, do you think that the Metal Slug developers ever admitted the inspiration of the main Slug design? It definitely seems strikingly similar to Dominion Tank Police.
Oh, Bonaparte from Dominion Tank Police is what you're talking about. That was the tank. Yeah, I always thought that. I do wonder because like the tank in like have you ever watched Dominion Tank Police?
That's is that Shiro Mizumune? Is that the Ghost in the Shell guy, right?
Yeah, it's it's
Shiro, like Mizumune Shiro or something like that. Isn't that what it is?
Yeah, it's hold on.
I don't know if that's like whatever. Either, yeah, I've seen parts of it.
Mizumune Shiro, yeah. But so the tank in that is like a tiny tank, like the main tank is like a tiny tank, like Metal Slug.
Right.
So it's I always wonder about that. I always loved that anime though. So like I don't know if that's why I loved Metal Slug so much. It's kind of funny because like Metal Slug was also introduced to me by my buddy Keegan Charles. Mm-hmm. He had X on. Was it on PlayStation 1, I think? And that was the first I played. And then he was like, he had spent like, he worked at like a Chesapeake Knife and Tool, if you've ever heard of that. It was like a mall store that sold like Highlander swords and all like sort of stuff like that.
Yeah, was it a chain? It had to have been a chain.
Yeah, it was a chain. Yeah, for sure.
Very familiar.
Yeah, it was like a chain. And so he worked there, and so he worked that job there, and he was like the first person I knew who like imported games, and he had a Sega Saturn, a Japanese Sega Saturn, and so all of the Saturn stuff that I played as a kid was his Sega Saturn. Whenever we would we had this friend Eric who he would have a mini convention at his house where like people would come over for like a huge LAN party in the summer. And like I would like, it was like, I'm in Maryland and he was in Virginia. And so my mom would drive me to this guy's house and I would stay there for like a week and all these people would just get together. I think I was like 13 or 14 or something. And I'm sure my mom was ready, like was like thankful to be rid of me for a while. And we would just sit there and play games. And so he would bring his Saturn and I would play like all this crazy stuff where he had like all these import games and stuff. Because I remember playing, he had Burning Rangers, but he had the Japanese version of it.
Yeah.
And I remember I was lost. He was like, "Oh, press the C button for the navigation help," and I pressed it, and it came up in Japanese because it was like, "Oh, go to the left, go to the right," but it was all in Japanese. Like, of course, I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
And I was like, "God damn, you're like fucking with me. Like why are you messing with me?" But like, it was because of him that like I got into that, and and he had Metal Slug, and I remember first playing it with him, and him showing it. He showed me so many different things. Like I have a lot to I have him to thank for a lot of my taste in games actually, because he always had all these cool games. Because he was old, he was older than me. He was like I was 13 or 14, and he was 19, I think 19 or 20, and it was this weird thing where he had a Sonic the Hedgehog fan site, and while he was in college, and he had found that the Ashura glitch in Sonic 2, which is like the green and black Sonic glitch, and he named it Ashura, and like so. I remember as like a 12 or 13-year-old, I emailed him saying, "Hey, do you mind if I use this as my online handle?"
Yeah,
and he was like, "Sure." He was like, "Sure, go ahead."
What is
so?
So like, what is that? Is that just what it's? That's what he
named it. He named it that.
But is there a reason why he named it that?
So from what I understand, he named it Ashura because like I guess it sort of meant like, or he thought it meant like demon, and so he wanted to name like you know how there's Ryu, right, and then there's Akuma or Goki, right? So like, and then Goki is sort of the Akuma is the evil Ryu, right? Mm-hmm. So he thought he looked sort of like the evil Sonic. So he wanted a name that was along the lines of like, here's an evil Sonic. And that's how he picked Ashura as a name, I think. I'm pretty sure.
I'm going to try it easy and just see what happens.
Okay, sure. Go for it. Okay. So like, he, I emailed him and I became, I think, can you load your, I guess I
can load my
level. Yeah. You can load.
Oh.
Yeah, you can load back.
Okay.
So he,
I feel like I'm cheating now. It's all right.
Well, I know the reason they do this in AES mode is so you can practice the levels essentially.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
They said that way. Also, if you have the memory card, you could take that memory card to the arcade and continue there as well. I believe.
Oh, that's cool.
I believe that was like Neo Geo had like really weird and cool stuff like that. But anyway, so I emailed him like 12, 13, and we became pals online. And my computer broke at some point. I was like, "Hey, do you know?" Like I think it worked enough so I could email him. I was like, "Hey, do you know somebody who could fix my computer?" And he's like, "Yeah, I know this guy Eric, who lives in Virginia." And we and this was like 1992 or 3, so it was like the internet was scary.
Yeah.
And so I had no idea how to fix the computer, and I was like, well, my friend says we could go visit this guy. And I remember my mom drove 2 hours to Chantilly, Virginia, and she was like, you're going to meet this internet person. I'm going with you. And I'm making sure. Yeah. And like, I remember going there, and I took my computer, and I met Eric, and he lived with his parents, and they lived in like a really like high, like a rich area of Virginia. Mm-hmm. And so like they had like this super nice house. And I remember my mom talked to his mom for like 2 or 3 hours while we were fixing the computer. And I remember after he talked to his mom, and he was like 21 or something, and like he was in college, I think. He after my mom talked to his mom for like 2 hours, like she trusted her. Like she's like, okay. She's like, I understand this. And I was, I've been friends with him for a long, long time now. But it was like one of those weird internet meetup sort of things, right?
Yeah.
And then I met Charles in real life at that. And so we started hanging out too. I'm still like really good friends with Charles. I went to MagFest with him, and I've known him since I was 13 or 14, and right now I'm like 42. So like,
yeah.
Like I've known them forever. That's one of those weird things where like, it's like it seems super sketchy, especially like in 1992.
Yeah.
Where like there was no voice chat or anything even at the time.
Right. But you find people that are like, yeah. I feel I certainly think that people were probably more trustworthy on the internet then than they are now. Mm-hmm. And I always joke because I remember my parent or my mom and like everybody's parents being like, oh, don't trust everybody on the internet.
Yeah.
You never know like who they are, like what they're, like what they're up to, But as time has gone on, I feel like a lot of people that have said that kind of thing are the kind of people that like trust everything that they read like on Facebook now.
Oh, right. Yeah, of course. I think so too. There is a degree of that too, but it's funny because also like Eric like completely fixed my computer, and he ended up being like a super good friend. Like everything I know about fixing computers, I learned from him how to build them. And then also like whenever he would get like a new computer, or because like people would bring him computers to fix them, and then what he would do is whenever he built a new computer, he would like give his old computer to somebody and like take their computer, and then like he would like whenever he realized a friend of his had an old computer and he had a better one, he would just be like, take this newer computer, and then I'll take your old computer and give it to somebody who doesn't have one as good as yours.
Right.
And he paid it forward.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was really awesome about that. Like I remember, because I couldn't afford like a Pentium or whatever when that first came out, when that was a huge thing. And he had just upgraded his computer to like a Pentium 3, I think. And so he gave me his old Pentium 2. And that was my main computer for a long time. Like, and like, as you know, my mom was middle class, so like I couldn't afford like a lot of stuff. And so like having that, like not only a computer at all, but like having him like hook me up with like a better computer than, like, because like I think for my first 3 or 4 computers, we bought like a 486, and then like we hand-me-downed 3 or 4 computers from him. Like he really was like awesome to me. And then when I got a job, I bought the parts and he helped me build it, and I learned from him that. And all because like I emailed a random person on the internet at some point about using a name as my nickname online. Like I've had these friends forever, it's like a weird like thing that like I think about how lucky I lucked out and all that.
Really quick, there was, or not really quick, but there was $10 from Tender Brew. Thanks, Madonna Sheehy, for reminding me, saying don't miss the new super chat. I'm keeping an eye as much as I can over here.
Yeah, I need to do a better job of this. You want me to read this?
No, it's okay. It's okay. Thank you, Tender Brew, saying, hey guys, hope the stream is going great. Happy to tune in for a bit. Wave Race 64 is the best game ever made and controls better than most modern games. Really makes you think.
Really makes you think, huh? I don't think I've ever really played Wave Race 64.
I've played it very little myself. Try, on the other hand, is
he's the N64 evangelist. Is that how you say it?
Evangelist, maybe.
Evangelist. There you go. Yeah. I keep thinking Evangelion, so like I would say it wrong. So there's a $2 donation from.
I say Warren Hokey is like how we always
Warren
say.
Hokey?
Yes.
I always said Warren Honky. Hey y'all, starting Radiant Historia. What a gem.
Yeah, Try likes to use that because it has like a widescreen mode and a 480p mode, and it's just it's a kind of a good showpiece for for the PS2.
But I was back to N64 though. Like I was never super into like when I was like Nintendo diehard, like Nintendo and Sega diehard, and then PlayStation came out, and like I lost track of Nintendo until it went back to like GameCube, right?
Yeah.
So like I don't have like that affinity for N64.
Me either.
A lot of people like the one N64 game that I loved and played a lot was Sin and Punishment.
Yes, yeah.
Like I played that a lot, but beyond that, it was like I remember. It's funny. I bought my N64 for Sin and Punishment, and I bought like a new N64 for $15 from GameStop, and I spent more money on Sin and Punishment than I did the N64. So yeah, like that's my one N64 game that I loved was Sin and Punishment, and like I think like I bought like Blockbuster was like burning out like whatever games they had, so I bought Pokemon Puzzle League and Beast Wars, which is a terrible game. Yeah.
Isn't Beast Wars like an exclusive Blockbuster game or something like that?
Yeah, it's a Blockbuster exclusive. So like it's this awful game that costs like $300-$400.
Is there Tsukino Maho is correct. Radiant Historia is the DS game, and also a 3DS version. Sorry, I'm thinking of Radiata Stories. You're right.
Yeah. Radiata Stories. Oh wow! Like yeah. I remember.
It's kind of funny how similar they sound now.
Oh yeah, the name. Yeah. I remember. Oh, you missed the refugee in the trees. Oh no! Now he's never going to be saved. I remember we used to call them. I saw them. I called them the Jesus dudes because like I thought they looked like Jesus on the cross or something. Like as a kid, and I was like, oh, gotta save the Jesus dudes. And my friend's like, what are you talking about? Save the Jesus dudes.
I'm. Is that? Did you get Final Fantasy VII this week? Or is that like anything that you're interested in?
So I did not get it. However, my friend has been playing it and streaming it, and I've been watching him play.
Okay.
So I'm pretty familiar with it. Yeah.
Okay.
I saw like I guess there. Should we say spoilers?
No, don't spoil anything if you can.
Okay. Like how far are you?
I'm like 15 hours, but I spent like 10 hours in that first like open area, like doing like everything. I just got to, I guess if you've probably seen more than me, I can say like I've got to Lower Junon. Just got there.
Like,
and I'm like 16 hours.
Like, did you get to Fort Condor or anything yet?
No.
Okay. I'm interested in your reaction to when they get to that and how that is, how you like what they did with it or not. Because like obviously you probably know it from the original, right? Like, yeah. So I really like what they did with it, their take on it. I enjoyed that. There's like the chocobo quests are kind of interesting too. How they have you like have to hunt a chocobo in each area or whatever.
Yeah, but that's a good way to work in, I think, the like the different colored chocobos.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. It's like this little Metal Gear segment. It's pretty fun.
Yeah. But the game is really, really good. It is. I was saying yesterday in our Discord, I was saying that the amount of stuff in it is just like staggering compared to like the last one.
From what I read, it's like they really like they took the small chunk of the game and then like really like fleshed it out like crazy.
Yeah.
Like above you. Yeah. Oh, you got him! Yay! He's saved.
Like I don't know how far this one goes, but I feel like the amount of stuff that they've done in this one, I'm wondering if the third one won't be nearly as long of a wait. Not that I think it's impressive that
they turned this around so fast
in 4 years. One.
Yeah.
And they did a lot of like a lot of the legwork in the last one. And I've been thinking about this a lot since finishing Yakuza 4. Have you played any of the Yakuza games?
I played them a little bit, but not.
But you're at least familiar with them to an extent.
I watched my friend play almost like a big chunk of Like a Dragon. Okay. So or Yakuza Like a Dragon, the one where it was still Yakuza before they changed the name of it.
Right.
And I've seen like earlier ones as well. Okay. So I played some of 3. I've played enough that I think they're impressive and fun, and like I know that I would get into it if I just sat down to play it. Yeah. But I've never played like a full one.
It's they're very good. Mm-hmm. But I think with like this kind of the state of the game industry, we're going to see, what they have done with their games is they reuse the same city and they just kind of like add aspects to it in each one, so that
until they have this like bigger city, right? Where they spend some of the budget to build it out, and now they have like this whole huge thing.
Yes, exactly. So I think that it's kind of interesting, and it's just like a really good approach. I bet you we see more of that kind of stuff. And what I find myself appreciating about that is that now I just get it. Like I get that the city is, I know where everything is, and it's kind of nice not having to like relearn a city in every single game.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think like it's not terrible to have iterative design like that. Like
no, not at all. I think it's like smarter, and I think that a lot of people were saying, oh, the new Zelda is where Tears of the Kingdom reused the same Hyrule. Yeah. But they added on like the underground and in the sky, So
that's perfectly fine, I think. Like I think so long as it's not just like an expansion pack, right? Like that it's still a whole new game, whole new story. Like it's fine to reuse the world. Like I've been playing like Monster Hunter World, and it's a lot of like tracking through the same areas, but it's been comforting to like learn the areas and know where to go, to know like where to go, right?
And imagine if they like use that world like in whatever they do next, but they like add another aspect to that world. Like it's just a good idea, and it's smart. It's a smart use of your time, and as you build up over games, then suddenly you have a lot of content that didn't cost nearly as much as like a full price game to develop.
Yeah, well, so how much, like I know they have those arcades, right? Do they usually keep the older games that they had in the past titles and the newer titles?
They don't.
They
don't. So sometimes they do. Virtua Fighter 2 has been in multiple, but I think that they tend to try to add like new games in a lot of them, and I think that that's okay.
I'd just love to see a crazy big arcade of Sega games. Like that would be cool to me.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they haven't done something like specifically that.
We have 2. I was about to say we have two of these. Let me go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it. This is fun. So another one from Wernhoki, $2. Thank you for the donation. Confession: I enjoyed Star Wars Terrace Kasi on the PS1. I did too. That is a super janky ass game, and you could just spam Han Solo's gun and like murder everybody.
Isn't that like the whole like, what he says? Like I only care about it like having a trusty blaster by my side. It's proving I'm right?
See, in that game, he always shoots first, and nobody shoots at all. But I actually kind of like that game. I thought it was an interesting like to do a Star Wars fighting game. I'd love to see that again. I had a poster that came with EGM, I think, of like of the original cyborg lady from that, and I had that on my wall forever as a kid. It was a poster that came with like EGM or something, and I remember I had it on my wall forever.
And that was like kind of during the glory days of the of like the extended universe at that point. It hadn't gotten so out of hand. Where, all this stuff happens. It's still like because isn't Mara Jade in that game? Isn't in?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Didn't she have like a purple lightsaber? I don't know. I read those books. I read the Timothy Zahn trilogy when they came out.
Like I know, like the extended universe stuff I know is mostly the games and stuff. Like I never read the books or anything, but I know they're like beloved.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some like I think the Timothy Zahn ones were definitely beloved, but I after that there's just so many, and you know I have to like I just can't keep up with that kind of stuff when there's that much stuff to
nowadays
even now,
yeah,
especially now, you know, with Marvel stuff, it's just hard to keep up. Like I didn't watch What If or whatever.
Oh yeah, me neither. Like I'm so behind on like Marvel things.
Yeah.
So $5 from Buddy Scotch.
Ooh, thank you.
Thank you. Hey Coury and Brady, still hunting for a PVM. However, I came across something unique recently: a North American native projector with a SCART input. That's sort of weird and interesting.
Yeah,
actually.
that's really weird. And is it the only one of its kind that is like that, I wonder?
I've never heard of that. Yeah. That's cool.
Anybody who bought that are like, what the heck is going on here? I wonder if it's for, for...
like international or something?
Yeah, if it was just like for a specific, like kind of place, you know, like a... I don't know, like a movie theater that showed something specific, like international films or something like that. I don't know.
Huh.
Who knows?
It's interesting that something like that exists. I think that's cool. You should take pictures of that and show people like what that's like, because that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I saw Artemio is in here. He's talking about how the slowdown in Metal Slug 2 was like a bug in the code.
Yeah. So the slowdown in Metal Slug 2, as I understand it, that's the end of it. That's the final boss in this game. It's not as overly crazy as Metal Slug 2. It's like there's a bug in it that when they're slow down, it eats 2 frames and repeats 2 frames instead of where it really should only be eating 1 frame. So there's a ROM hack that fixes that, but they call it like the turbo version, but it really doesn't, like, there's still slowdown in it. It doesn't get rid of the slowdown. It's just that repeating, that bug where it's like repeating the extra frames. It doesn't repeat as many frames essentially, and it's a little smoother. I find the slowdown though, like I find that in Metal Slug 2, if you play it on an emulator and you overclock it, or you can overclock the system as well. If you overclock it and get rid of the slowdown, it makes it way, way harder, and like the slowdown actually helps keep it more balanced.
Right. It's kind of like how like a lot of cave shooters, and there's a lot of shooters in general have the slowdown built in as a way to like make it more manageable for people. And playing it without that, it feels it's too hard.
It's harder. Oh yeah, it's definitely a lot harder. Like especially when you get towards the final stages of 2, it's definitely way, way harder. I mean, I'm sure Artemio could also like correct me if I'm wrong about the technical part of 2 and like it repeating frames more than it should from a bug, but I'm pretty sure that I'm correct on that.
It's hiya, Jim.
Hiya, Jim.
I'll play 2 after this.
You play some 2?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's my favorite. Like I said, I can get through the first 4 stages without dying. I've done that once or twice. So I'm slowly over these years training in Metal Slug 2 to try to single credit it. I want to single credit it at some point. Slowdown is cheating. Slowdown is not cheating. Slowdown is not cheating.
Yeah, it's intended to make it more fair.
Like I'm glad when they build emulators for a lot of these games, you can turn the slowdown on and off. There's like that option in a lot of these. I'm pretty sure like some of the Metal Slug versions have that. I know there's a version of Twinkle Star Sprites that also you can turn on or off the
Peace forever.
The slowdown.
At least until Peace forever. At least until the next.
Peace forever. Mission all over. Peace forever. You're the best tank buster.
Mission. What is Mission all over from?
Mission all over is from Metal Slug 2.
Okay, Mission all over.
Yeah, Mission all over.
That would be good for a shirt. Remember
Mission all over. I remember that from. That's the other reason that Metal Slug 2 was cool to me, because on Toonami they had Tom the robot review Metal Slug, and they would pick some like really like weird games to review on Toonami. Like they did like the entire Dreamcast like launch lineup, and I remember they like, which was a weird thing, like, oh, they're not going for PlayStation or whatever, right? But they on Toonami they reviewed Metal Slug, and they gave it like a super positive review. Metal Slug X for PlayStation 1. They gave it a positive review, and I remember they ended it with Mission all over, right from Metal Slug X.
That's cool. That's you wouldn't expect to see that. It shows that they like really played it.
Oh yeah, those guys like really were the gamers.
I'll be right back.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. We can look at the pseudo 3D of the score screen. So how is everybody in chat today? How is maybe I should center myself here in the little window. Am I more centered now? Maybe. I did it. I centered myself. Is everybody having some fun on Sunday night?
I think it's funny that my copy of Metal Slug is from California Games. It's like the company was called California Games.
Oh, like the NES game?
Yeah, but I mean it's just like California Games Incorporated.
Does your cart have the serials scratched out of it?
Yeah, is that what would be there?
Yeah, because from what I learned, they would do that so because they would be worried that they shouldn't resell it or something like that if they got caught in the time. Like that SNK might be mad that they resold the cart or something like that. So they would scratch it out. Apparently.
Well, somebody's could have gotten in trouble now for that.
Yeah. So that's why having them with the thing, you should go into the service menu and turn the blood on.
Oh, can I do that with the?
You should be able to it should be in the dip, the soft dip.
Is that that's not the debug dip settings, is it?
No, there should be like a way to maybe it's in that.
Or I can soft reboot it.
It might be in the debug dip. Jukebox PC2. Wow.
I don't know. I don't remember if it's press C to reboot. I know it's like a
general BIOS settings go into there.
Is that where it is?
I think it should be there. I'm looking at the wrong screen also. I need to put you over here. So I'm looking at something that's not like 30 seconds from 30 seconds ago. So it should be that's
I just don't remember what the button combination is.
Because like there's like in the MVS there's like a soft dip that's just in the regular BIOS. Oh, options. See if it's language English. No, that's a.
I don't remember what it is. Is okay. BCD. Okay. There it is.
There you go. Yeah, soft. It should be in the
setting up the hard dip. You know,
the hard dip. So I know it's in soft dip. It's actually the one that I'm talking about is in soft dip. I know for sure. And so yeah, slot 1, Metal Slug 2, and then it should be blood on. Yeah, and then
credit level.
Yeah, I guess you could turn continue on difficulty level 3. Level 3 should be MVS.
Oops.
Trying to make it harder on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, now the blood should be there. So people don't sweat to death anymore.
Yeah. You know what? I'm in here. I'll do the calendar.
Set the time.
Yeah.
You mean it's not December 31st, 2000? Whatever it was?
Whoops. I'd gone the wrong day. It's today the 3rd, yes.
The 30 is the 3rd.
I just went past it again. Whoops. You know what? I don't know why.
I built one of those open MVSs and I've really enjoyed it. Like before I had the Phantom converter and it always had trouble with it, but building my own MVS has been really like nice. Like I've like it has like super good RGB output.
Have you set the blood setting? Did I set the?
Oh, did you?
I did. Whoops.
Oh, you set the blood off.
Okay.
Now we should have the blood.
I hope.
SNK forever. Metal Slug 4 doesn't have that screen. It doesn't show the Neo Geo logo. It just skips it.
That's a major mistake.
Seriously, you need that. Turn it up to 5.
All right.
Who are you going to be? Theo, Ari?
Yeah, I mean
Theo's my favorite.
Yeah.
She's my
Yeah,
she's my Metal Slug Bay. I have a Theo figure. That I have
really?
Yeah.
I just like
her
name,
glasses. Fiolina Jeremy. They're from the Peregrine Falcon unit or something like that. So let's see. Yeah, these guys should have heavy machine guns.
you have it all memorized now.
Oh, I know. I can tell you. I can tell you pretty much everything. Yeah. So this guy, if you take his little briefcase, like go grab his briefcase before he hands it to that guy and wait. And so he will like try to give it to the guy. You can just wait here for a second. He look for the briefcase and it'll be like, what? Where'd it go? See, so there's 2 different animations.
Yeah.
If you have it or don't have it.
Okay.
So if you shoot that palm tree where you're at, go back. Oh, right there.
Yeah.
There should be. Yeah. There's a
bananas.
bunch of bonuses up there. Nope. There's guys. There's dudes. Let's see. Yeah, these guys have a jewel. There's Ichimonji is in this. Have you ever gotten him?
No.
I'll show you where he is. So yes, like stand back to the left and just shoot the truck. Stand back from the truck. Yeah.
You can just stay back and it won't.
Yeah, you can just stand back and just like mow him over.
Yeah, I mean it really slows down.
Yeah, this
like that's making it slow down.
Yeah. There's the baby, the little baby. You can't collect him though.
Oh, okay.
He just comes out. There's just a baby in there for some reason. Oh no!
I was looking at the chat. Sorry.
That's okay. So when you drop down here at the top right, there's a guy. See him? He's like right there.
Oh yeah, hang on.
Get him. He's the coolest guy ever because he follows you around and Hadoukens things. He's the refugee. His name is Ichimonji Hyaktaro. Yep, that's his name. Ichimonji Hyaktaro. He's fast. He can like.
Is he will really help. Level?
No, he's in 2 levels in this game. So if you stand in one place and then just like let the gun go, the sweep usually gets all of the. Like if you just let it go and like that, if you just tap up and spray it like that, usually it'll get the ones that are like coming down at you. If you have the heavy machine gun,
Has anybody played the King of Fighters like the global match? I saw that Limited Run put up the PS4 version and Switch version. The 360.
I played it on PS2.
Yeah, well they're expensive. But I'm glad that they're doing this new re-release.
If you keep going forward and shooting, you can just destroy it before it. Well, now you're kind of too late. But like if you were just like mow him over, like, and just get rid of it. But yeah. Like it's like is like that version expensive now?
Yeah, the PS3 and I don't know if the Xbox 360 version is, because that's backwards compatible.
Okay.
So that might be, but the PS3 version was like $80 for a while. But I wonder if the global match that came out. I'm just the sprites in that are so crazy.
Just go for the red one. Don't worry about the other ones.
The sprites in King of Fighters 13 are crazy. Like, I understand why they decided to like not do another one.
Go
like
3D. Go 3D. Yeah. Well, they made 2 games like that, right? Oh.
Yes, they
You did it.
And they didn't have very many characters, I think.
Yeah, they added a few to the second version. Let's see. Local s'mores Pop-Tart, $5. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Just showing my support. Had a rough day, but after that lengthy Final Fantasy VII Rebirth session and some of the Sunday live stream, I feel much better. Well, glad you're feeling better. Sorry you had a horrible Sunday, man. Hopefully you can chill out and get some relaxing vibes from some metal slugging.
Yes, yeah. I'm glad to see you here.
I ended up also that's called the camel slug. There was some budget cuts in this level. This is the camel slug. Yeah, I ended up going 2 states over. I live in Maryland, so we went to West Virginia. And I visited my buddy from high school, and he's like my best friend's cousin. So we went and visited him and his kids, and we took my buddy's kids over there to play with all their kids. So we hung out for the weekend and just like chilled out. So I was like, that's where I was when you were asking me, like, are you around on Sunday? Like, I should be.
Yeah, where you're like, I don't know how long of a drive was that for you?
It's like 2 hours exactly, almost. My buddy drove, so I lucked out. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and his son was playing. A long time ago, I worked on a game called Indivisible, and he was playing. He's been playing it.
Oh, that's cool. I've been thinking about like how I want to play that too, a lot lately. Like I have the PS4 version physically and digitally.
Okay, yeah, it's actually, if people want to try that game out and have a Game Pass, it's free on Game Pass.
Oh, that's cool.
For this month, I think. So yeah, check it out. It's I make no money off of it if you get it, but it's a neat little game that I don't think had a lot of a shot, and more people finding it and checking it out. Oh, there's a refugee down there.
Oh, in there,
yeah. If you just shoot while you're in there.
Oh,
right, there you go.
But yeah, it's good. I've wanted to play it.
Seeing it 4 or 5 years later now, and not having seen it in like 5 years, I'm like, oh, this is really a game. Like, yeah, it looks like a game, and actually
the animation is crazy in it. Like, I feel like just it's such a cool looking game, and it's like it's like Valkyrie Profile.
Like,
exactly.
It plays a lot like Valkyrie Profile. Marco.
Guess I'll be Marco again. Or
like do you know Tarma's full name? Do you know what it is?
Oh.
It's Tarmical Roving. Tarmical Roving. I love all their names.
Yeah.
Like, they all have such cool. Tarmical Roving, Fiolina Jeremy. She's is it Eri Kazumoto maybe? And Marco. I can't remember Marco's last name.
Yeah, I don't remember his last name.
And then in 4, the 2 new characters are Nadia Cassell, and then Trevor Spacey. Trevor Spacey. It was the cool Korean, because it was developed in Korea, so they added a Korean dude to it. It's like I love those characters. I wish they brought them back. I really love the design for Nadia. I think she has a cool design. So does Trevor. Trevor's also cool as well. Oh, so yeah. Oops.
But so yeah, Indivisible is free on Game Pass.
Yep.
And that's
check her out.
cool. Like, I mean, and it's cool that games like that can like
live on a little bit.
Yeah, get it. You know, say what you will about like the idea of like not owning the games and stuff on Game Pass, but I think that it's kind of nice that some games can be rediscovered that way.
Yeah, like it's like, oh, check out this. Like, I mean,
I think people tend to think like, oh, it's only for games that are just brand new, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, like Monster Hunter World came out what in 2019, and like, so it was on sale. I'd never played it. It was on sale on Steam for like $15. So I got it. And I put 70 hours into it. Also, look at the flamethrower versus the first game. Like how ridiculous this animation is.
Yeah.
For the flamethrower versus that first game, it's like this game they just went crazy with the animations. It's nuts.
Yeah, especially like when he turns into a mummy.
Oh, all of it. Oh yeah. So okay. Oh, you did it. You did it. Awesome.
It was a totally.
I was going to say that. Yeah, no, I was going to say the trick to it is that when the smoke's off, just keep running and you'll make it through. Like a lot of the stuff that seems hard in this is not really that hard. If you know
if it's just knowing it's there, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, or know when to run. There's a lot of cool stuff in this.
So I was saying
you did some there. Nice.
I was saying before the stream that you know, like this week, as I didn't want to start anything because I knew Final Fantasy was coming out and I didn't want to get deep into anything. So I played a couple of more story-driven, shorter games, and I replayed Gone Home for the first time since it first came out, and I liked it a lot when it first came out too. But I feel as though it definitely hits a little bit differently now that I have a daughter that's like starting to approach that that time in life, I guess, like this like close to that age as like the little younger sister is in that game. Although, you know, I guess that's just being a teenager. I don't really want to spoil it if you've never really played it. But it's just like a really good story. And then after that, I'm curious if anybody in the chat has played this. I played To the Moon, which is something that I'd wanted to play for a long time. And it was really, really good. It's definitely pretty janky too, but it's kind of has like a 16-bit RPG look to it, but it's basically all text with some cutscenes and stuff like that. There's no real way to like lose or anything, and it feels very, very close to like.
Wow, you singled that.
Yeah, I don't know how I did that.
That's awesome. He has like a laser that he shoots, and he didn't shoot that. But he's a very. But even with that laser, you just go to the left, really.
Oh.
And then you can dodge it. It's easy. If you know how to dodge that attack, he's really easy. He can be really easy. He was very kind to you though, because he wasn't even jumping up the, like the pillar or anything. But yeah, like I've never really heard of those. Like I've never really.
They're good. I mean, they are a good way to. To the Moon was like 4 hours long, and Gone Home is like 2 hours. Just really, really good. You know, To the Moon. It was different than I was expecting. It's very. I was saying it's almost like Black Mirror-esque, but like.
Oh, okay.
But. Like good Black Mirror, like San Junipero Black Mirror,
yeah.
Not like horrible like horrible fate becomes.
Oh, like so like a more wholesome one where a not bad ending.
Right. I mean, I'm curious if anybody in the chat has played it and if you would agree with that. If you've watched Black Mirror.
Yeah, I remember when San Junipero happened, people were like, this isn't like a Black Mirror episode, it's wrong, there shouldn't be a happy ending.
No, like that's what's great about it, is that
like you never know, right?
Well,
like,
it plays with your expectations that because every single Black Mirror episode ends horribly.
Before that one,
when something is a happy ending, that in itself, I wonder if that is part of the reason why it's so beloved, is because people have it defied expectations of what.
Oh, for that one? I mean, it was also, that one was also just a good story.
It was just a good story also, but
yeah,
it helps it in the fact that, you know, you're when you're watching it the first time and you didn't know about it, you're just waiting for, like, when's this all going to go wrong?
Some horrible thing to happen.
When's it going to go wrong?
When is it revealed she's an AI or something and that she's not a real person? Like, I mean, but like the creator was like, he was like, there was no rule that said we had to make all the endings bad. Like,
I know.
I remember him saying that, like, there's no rule for that. And he's like, in this one, this is what served the story. Yeah. And they've done some, and then since then they've done some ambiguous ones too.
Right.
Like, I think that's great. Like there's the one where it's essentially like they go into Street Fighter and like the two guys essentially fall in love, like Anthony Mackie, like that one.
I don't know if I've watched that one, because I've not watched them all like in order. At all. Like, that's
the thing too. Yeah, you don't have to do that either, which is cool.
You just skip around to whatever one sounds interesting to you.
Yeah, I mean, I would say also that like the very actual first episode is not a good episode.
Right.
Like I would like, if somebody didn't tell me that beforehand that was a non-representative, like like non-representative of the rest of the series, like I don't know if I would have continued with it. But like Coury's got some skill at this for playing it for the first time. This is
I'm getting lucky.
You've done exceedingly well. You have to like jump and grenade him. He won't pop up. This is one of the exceedingly most hardest parts that I had in this. I don't know if it's actually hard. I just had trouble with it. I have trouble with these rifle guys, dodging them. You're like taking them like, oh, he got you finally.
Finally, yeah.
But no, like I usually eat it on that first guy, trying to grenade him. Is it the wing slug? I can't remember what this slug's called. Air slug, maybe. They're all called slugs.
But they're
and
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, just Black Mirror. Yeah, like I love, like when I saw that, I love that it screwed with you. Like I love.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just, you know.
Did you ever play the choose your own adventure one that Netflix did?
Yes, I did, but I don't remember anything about it.
Like I'm sort of the same. Like I don't remember what happened in it, and I wonder how many actual endings it had.
But there's like another thing, I can't think of what it was though that I was comparing it to.
Tales from the Crypt?
No, but it's just like To the Moon is very, very good. It takes a little while to get going.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, it's a little janky, but not in a way that is detrimental to the game.
I mean, I think it's interesting too that we have like all of these like small indie experiences like this, and you can make a game that just has a simple loop even, and then it can capture people's imaginations.
Yeah.
There's like, what is there? There's one that's like, is it Exit 5 or Terminal 5 or something? And the loop of the game is like, you go into a subway car and you have to look at the subway car and look for any anomalies. And like, if you like, you go into it the first time and you see what it is, and you leave, and then another subway car comes back. And then if you look at it again, and you detect like any anomalies, you should leave. If it's the right one, you go to the next station. You have to go for like 5 stations before you get to the end. But if you ever travel in a train car that has an anomaly, it sends you back to the first terminal. So like, and that's the whole loop, is going into this train car and identifying if there's an anomaly or not. Like, and it'll be stuff like, there's a difference in some of the posters on the walls, or like the.
So it's just like a picture, like a image search or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It's like what's different about this, right? But that's a full game, and it's got, and it's creepy too, right? Like it's set up in a creepy way, but it's like that is a full game, like, and you can put out a small game like that for $5, and I think that's just as valid as something that's like an 80-hour game, right?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
We're in like an era where you can do stuff like that now, which I think is really cool. And like I was thinking about like how even if you're not a programmer now, you can build a game. Like you can make your own game, and I think that's so cool. Ooh!
All right, do it.
You did it! You didn't even die, man. Hell yeah! I didn't even tell you like the secret spot where you could go and not get shot. You just did like shmup. Dodging, yeah.
Well, the slowdown helps a lot there.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Oh, you got Rumi Aikawa. Oh yeah, she's the blonde girl with the supplies is Rumi Aikawa. And then in 3, it's her sister. I can't remember her name. It might be Kimiko, maybe. I'm not sure.
See, Tori Hanzo was saying, I didn't really like Black Mirror when it became more American. And I mean, like, at what point did that really happen?
Netflix.
Like,
I mean, the Netflix one.
So, like, there's this guy who's like giving this kid, like, he's trying to.
Oh, it's gone.
Yeah, that's good. I guess that is with the first one to be like that. Is that the one where they're?
It's the San Junipero season. Is the first Netflix video. Which, I mean, it's still not. It's not completely American. It's just that season had writers and directors who were also American.
I see.
Like they added, and I think that's fine. Like I really. Whoa, big. I think they added.
I'm not fat. I'm just big.
Yeah. Big boned. Was it as big boned?
Yeah.
The Cartman.
Exactly.
I'm not fat. I'm just big boned.
See, I always thought like the one like the Bryce Dallas Howard one, like where she goes crazy, or it's all about like giving everybody likes.
Social currency.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one, which is true in China now, I think, right? Like they have something like that for real. I think so. Yeah.
Wow.
Something is similar. I believe.
Holy cow! I did not know that.
I believe that there is actually something like that in the country that they're like. It's quite. It's interesting the amount of stuff that like again, if I'm completely wrong, correct me.
Yeah,
but like,
I see someone say it's like no, that's propaganda. I mean,
I would not be surprised to see it.
Yeah,
happen.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see it anywhere, honestly, at this point.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, the social currency, but I always think about also how I think before the Black Mirror episode or around the same time, there was a Community episode that was sort of the same concept as it.
Oh, really?
And it was, but instead of like being super serious, the thing was called Meow Beans was the app. And it was like, how many Meow Beans do you have? And like that was your social currency within the community college. And it was like it turned into this like weird like Zardoz sort of cult sort of thing. It was totally ridiculous. This is one of the later seasons of Community. Okay, well, yeah. So social. You're saying social credits are a thing in China, but it's not. No, I'm not saying it's an actual currency. I'm saying it's like social currency, meaning like it can affect like your ability to buy a car or to go eat at certain restaurants and things like that. Like if they look at your social credit and you don't hit a certain level, they might reject you from a place. Because like, oh, you're like riffraff or whatever. I believe that's how it works. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to spread misinformation, but that's what I believe I read.
Look at the plane taking off.
Yeah. Oh, so this is like it's cool like how much the slug will like destroy all the stuff in this section. He just like ran him over. Like I always loved how also the slug could like just run over the soldiers.
Yeah.
But well, they could
just in general. I think the idea of being able to knife the guys when you're like next to them is a great addition to the run and gun.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm not a big Contra fan, but I love this more than you slug attacked. I love the all the stuff you can do in this, and like also how the enemies will, like, for instance, like at least in the first one, the soldiers will run up to the tank and try to open it up and like throw a grenade in there and stuff like that. Like they'll try and do things like that if you wait around too long. These things have like so many different like just like AI behaviors. I think it's nuts. An interesting thing about this game too is like before this game they made In the Hunt, right?
Yeah.
So they made In the Hunt before that. Yeah, and so the original concept for this game was more like In the Hunt, and there weren't soldier. You didn't play as like Marco or Tarma or anything. You played as the Metal Slug, like you did In the Hunt. You played the submarine. So the whole game was going to be you in the tank, driving around, and the enemy soldiers were the actual refugees, and you saved them. And so there's that in the ROMs. There's actually sprites from when that was a thing. But yeah, like that was the original idea, and then at some point they changed it to you jump in the tank instead.
I mean, look at this thing. It's such it's like such a cool looking.
Well, wait till you see the next piece of it.
I mean, it looks like it's just like writhing in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like check. It'll come out in a sec, I think.
Yeah, In the Hunt is really good.
That
game is so difficult.
Oh, for sure. Like I say, Metal Slug 1 is definitely doable. This one is also doable. You're doing, like, for somebody who hasn't really played this, you're doing amazing. Like,
because I'm coming off the first one here, I just like.
I am. Well, I think you're doing better in this one than you did in the first one. Because you're still on your 3 lives. Oh, check this out. Look how cool that is.
Yeah.
You can sort of hide under that tower thing, yeah. But yeah, like I think so the wake of the explosions usually doesn't kill you, and they usually just will shoot you in the air. So if you're like if you jump when it's near you, you can usually, if it's too close, you can usually like kite it. It's like ABJ, always be jumping. he might have a. Oh, he only gave you grenades. Come on, man. Ooh, see how you can kind of like kite the explosion.
Yeah. Oh, it like kind of makes you do a double jump or something.
It knocks you in the air too. Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, like the optimal way to do this is to keep the Metal Slug till you get here as well. And so like you use the Metal Slug and you use the explosions to jump the Metal Slug up there, and then shoot like grenades and stuff into it. And you can also use the Metal Slug because there's like you got too greedy.
Yeah.
When you pop out of the Metal Slug, because you can jump in and out of it at will.
Right.
You're invincible whenever you do that. So you use that to dodge some of the bullets on the
yeah.
That's you got it too. You only died once or twice against it, which is phenomenal. Like you're doing pretty great. You're close to there's 2 more stages left. You're close to the end.
Oh, this is a lot shorter than the first one then.
The last one's pretty long, I think.
Oh, okay.
But it's there's a cooler spectacle to the final stage in this one. I think I'm curious if you'll be able to recognize the reference at the very end of this. Like what movie had just come out. Also, see the little Lupin the Third car? The yellow God, what is it? The Fiat. The little yellow Fiat.
Is that the one that was known to like blow up like super easily?
I don't know if that's the case, but it looks like the car from Lupin the Third, the Castle.
Oh, okay.
The little yellow car, yeah. I think it's got the same engine that he's rigged up in Castle Cagliostro as well. If you look at the back of it.
I meant to ask you. So I almost messaged you about it because like I was not gonna actually get them, but I'm wondering if I missed out. I went to this thing called like Vintage Fest. That was here in Cincinnati a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
And the website made it seem like it was going to be a bunch of things, but it was mainly just clothes. But there was the occasional, like there's like one place like selling like a bunch of VHSs and stuff like that. And they had Project ACO 2 and 3 laser discs.
Oh, wow.
And they were $20 each. And I was like, I don't know if I should get these or not.
You should.
I should have gotten them.
You should have gotten 2 and 3, yeah. Because, in fact, so for the Blu-rays, I went and scanned all of the, I scanned all the covers and everything, and we included them in the gallery. And I had a lot of trouble finding 3.
Really?
Like super hard. 3 was very hard for me to find. Yeah, I remember I had to get somebody else to scan it for me who had it.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah, you probably should have grabbed those.
I should have messaged you. I was.
If you, I would. Yeah, you should have. Because I would have said grab it. Because I would have paid. Like I would have, like, paid you for them. I was like, oh yeah, but no, yeah. Definitely.
Dang it.
That's right. For $20 is pretty good too.
Yeah.
Here, let's see here from Dad 1153 $2. Thank you.
Thank you.
I prefer the Neo Geo Pocket Metal Slugs. Fight me. Well, no, those are cool games.
Yeah.
Like those are legitimately
especially
cool
that
fun games.
The second one is really expensive now.
Yeah. They are. Yeah. But that's a cool game. Very definitely cool game.
I'll be curious if anybody in the chat has gotten their Neo Geo or their analog pocket adapters. I ran right into that grenade because there's a. I'll be. Is it Tarma? Yeah, I'll be Tarma.
Tarmical Roving.
It's sunglasses. Did anybody get their pocket adapters yet? The cartridge adapters, so you can play Neo Geo Pocket, TurboGrafx 16, and Lynx. I got
Marco Rossi. That's his name.
Okay.
Rossi. Marco Rossi. I had to look it up. It was bothering me. So, I'm not the biggest fan of analog stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, sort of skipped the pocket. But so have you gotten yours or?
No, I did not order any, but I need to order them.
Oh, okay. I mean, I know it's a nice piece of kit. I just don't like some of their, like, business practices, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I feel like they're kind of like in a weird state right now.
Right now, oh yeah. I mean, it's a, and the one that I've came the closest to buying was probably the Genesis one, and then I can see an argument for the PC Engine one, just because like it's legitimately cheaper than like getting and modding a actual like Turbo Duo, right? Yeah. Like I can see an argument for getting that, but like I don't know, they have certain business practices I don't like. The thing that really bothered me too is when they had the Super NT up on their website, the splash page for their website was this animated GIF that flashed so fast that it was
like almost did it like do something to your monitor? If you have like an IPS screen, if something like that happens, you'll get like an image retention for a little while.
No, like I have like some like image sensitivity too. Oh, grenade that thing.
Okay.
Hold on. Yeah, that thing's gonna kill you. Sorry. Like I have like some photosensitivity a little bit, and so like it really like it like I had no idea when I went to the website, and it got me and it gave me like a headache. Like
really?
Yeah, like and I'm like this could like it was so fast that like if you have seizures, like I could have seen it like really screwing with people who have actual seizures. Like I just get headaches from it, right? Like I'm susceptible to that. But like it was bad, and like I pointed it out to their help center, like, hey, this is not like good to have for people who have seizures, who are photosensitive.
Yeah.
And they like completely ignored it. I messaged them a couple times about it. I was like, hey, this isn't really good to do.
They doubled down and like did all the text on the screen.
Oh my god, no! They like eventually somebody answered me, and then they never did anything about it until they put up the new product. But I was like, why? Like, just you completely ignored everybody who said this, like, and who complained about it, and it's just like, come on now. If like your customers are like, hey, this could be like unhealthy for people, maybe don't keep it on your website. I don't know. It seemed like a douchey thing to do.
Yeah.
Can we get Brady and Try in a like off?
In a like.
See, that's why Coury got me. So there was parody in the vocabulary.
It is. I think that it's just something that happens. You can't if you and especially if you're trying not to say like too much.
Oh yeah,
then
for sure.
you say it even more.
My mom, when I would try and ask her things as a kid, she'd be like. She would do that to me all the time because I would say it all the time.
It's difficult to not say it, especially I'm talking about using the auto transcription in Adobe Premiere, and it has the option for it to recognize filler words. And I think it would be really interesting to run a live stream through it and to see if it would put, because it just says where there's a filler word, it gets rid of it, and it just says in parentheses filler.
Oh.
And usually, that's and and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it would be really interesting to
grenade, you're gonna get swished. Oh, grenade the hell out of it.
I did it.
You survived. Hell yeah. That's Metal Slug, baby. That would be hilarious just to see
how it recognizes it.
Yeah. Does it try to cut those out as well?
No, it just lets you know that they're there.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Like filler word, like almost like it's a cuss word. Censor it. Imagine though if like you changed every like to a beep.
But I am just as guilty of saying it a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
especially when you're going off the cuff as well, right? Like
exactly, and because that's exactly what they are, though, is they are filler words for you to think about what you're going to say next. I have a lot of respect for people that can speak concisely without having to use any filler words.
Oh, for sure.
Because
100%.
I think that is something that it has to be learned. You can only do that through practicing.
Learned and practice. Yeah, you have to like build it as a skill, right?
Yes.
So these guys, if they get to the ground, they're red and they explode. That'll kill you. Okay. But you can usually knife them. There's also a laser up there.
How do I get it?
You have to crank that crank. You have to crank. They need to get the shotgun.
Yeah. Hesitation devices. Yes.
Hesitation device. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but I think that John is very, very good with not using filler words. Although he will, and when you know to look for filler words, you start picking stuff up. Because, for instance, John likes to end like certain sentences. Will say right, and it does not feel like a filler word because it feels like a
punctuation almost,
or just as a way to interact with the other people in the conversation.
Right, to open the floor to them.
Yes.
Yeah, like I worry about like talking over people a lot to the point where sometimes I will hesitate to interject. Sometimes, and I try to get better at that. Because I sometimes I feel like I'm maybe too deferential to people when they talk. I don't know, but also like I'm trying to be like mindful of like give you space to talk to, and like
right.
It's one of those things where like you gotta try to like not bowl over people like completely.
Yes. Exactly. And a lot of that comes from, and I think that this is something that people, especially now, have difficulty with, is just there being a little bit of like dead air for a second.
Mm-hmm.
My father-in-law is very, very good at speaking, because before he says anything, if you ask him a question, he won't just immediately launch into it. He takes,
Time to think about it.
Time to think about it first. And that is a quality that I wish that I could have.
Like not say the first thing that's on the top of your head immediately. Like,
yes.
And a lot of time you start with, well, I don't know. And then there's this and this. So instead of it's more like you're running through your thoughts in the conversation.
Yes.
Your thought process as the conversation, right?
Right. Because you feel as though there can't be any dead air. So you just got to get it out there. But yeah, that is something that I always respect, like when talking to them. I just think, man, I wish I could do that more often.
Yeah, it's interesting. When I used to be super shy about like streaming and doing stuff like that, and I ended up becoming friends with a guy who like he had me on his stream, and I ended up liking it. And I started to force myself to go on his stream when he would invite me, so I could try to get past that fright and like get better at social interaction like that. Shoot. Right? Like forcing myself to. No, you did it completely right. That's what you're supposed to do.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because like you're invincible when you jump out of it, right?
Oh.
Jump. Yeah, there you go. Oh.
It's up and jump, right?
No, down and jump will get you out of the thing.
Oh.
Yeah. So now, you can throw your grenades at it. Yeah, pretty much. You're out of grenades. Once you run out of shotguns, though, it should give you like a heavy machine gun, it's actually better to have this.
I was hoping that I would maybe be able to beat this thing so I could continue on this level.
Oh, hopefully you can beat it. I think
that's my last life.
You're sort of close. Go right. There you go. You did it. You're kind of close to destroying it, though.
Really?
Yeah, it's almost done. Jump, duck. Just keep ducking, and then jump the last one. Yeah, because like it's almost completely destroyed. Oh,
it got me big time there.
Yeah, seriously. This is the next. Oh, you got one more.
Oh no,
you don't have any more. If you plugged it in controller 2, you could.
I don't have another. It'd take me more than 4 seconds to dig it out.
Yeah, unfortunately, but this is the next to last level. You got all the way to the next to last level in the standard amount of credits, which is pretty nuts. I guess it didn't ask you to save though, huh? Oh, yeah, you go, save, yeah. So you should be able to continue from that level this time. You did really good though, especially if this is like your first time going through this.
Oh, cool. So it
saves it, yeah.
So you can jump to any level you want from after this point.
Yeah, it's essentially so you can practice area. Yeah, she's got the cool gun.
Yeah.
The cool like pistol. She throws the pistol in Metal Slug 3. This is like you can see that this level's pretty long, right? Like this
Holy
is a
cow,
level.
Yeah. It's kind of blowing my mind right now.
And then the next level is even longer than this one. So it's pretty balanced in terms of length. It's just it feels like since this is the next to last level, it was pretty short to get here. But yeah, this one's pretty long. But this is still pretty doable in my opinion. Like this level is. It's the next level when the Mars people show up that it gets a little harder. I love that their name is Mars people.
Yeah, I also like that they go to the aliens like with the second game. They didn't. It wasn't even something where they said we don't know what to do next, so we got to go into space or bring in aliens into the whole thing. But really quick, like talk about Try. if anybody watched the Digital Foundry, the most recent direct, since Try is in Germany visiting John, I think he comes back on Wednesday. But during the direct, you can like see him playing Mario 64 on the TV in the background for like the entire time. Like he's just like hanging out back there playing the game.
They didn't even have him on or anything.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, that's funny.
He's just back there in the background.
He's like the Sasquatch of Mario 64.
Yeah,
like the Try sightings.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll be in like another one or whatever.
I mean, if he's there, like, why not have him on?
Yeah.
For real.
Or
like,
if
he's done a bunch of stuff. Like he was doing those like the Sonic Boom, those videos with John
right
for a while.
I'm sure they recorded something. Hopefully they recorded something for our channel too. I'm hoping that they did while there. I'm
just watching you dodge all this stuff. Me and you need to practice, and then we could do a 2-player run where we don't die.
Yeah.
That would be something fun. I
do think I like this one better than the first one, though.
Yeah, I like this better than X personally. I like the balance of it. I like the enemies. This one is to me more fun than. Are you using the turbo button?
I'm using the turbo button or the.
Good. Okay. I was about to say you better not be pressing it that fast. Oh
yeah.
If you
can you destroy that thing, or is it just?
No, that's the foreshadowing.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah. So there you go. You got her. There was some secret guys there though. I was going to show you where they were, but there's never mind. There's cool foreshadowing like that of like the aliens where they like, will like just show you little bits, and like in this level. There's a part where they show like one of the spacecrafts, I think, and like it's just like in part of the level, if I remember correctly. But yeah, like this one's more fun to me. This is quintessential Metal Slug. Plus, it has the all four of the main characters too.
Yeah.
Marco.
I don't know if Artemio is still here. I'd be curious to see what Artemio's favorite game in the series is, if he's still here.
Is Artemio a noted Metal Slug fan?
I think he likes it. Yeah,
I love it. Like it's like I had for this particular one. I love it so much. I had the full MVS kit, so I have like the
box, like the little
the stickers,
like the little stick. Like, yeah, I think I might have that for this too.
Oh, for this one, yeah. This is the one I have. I have it for that, and I have Metal Slug 4 for that. But Metal Slug 4 at the time was very plentiful, so it wasn't hard to get that one.
Yeah.
Like I think about it, I bought Rage of the Dragons on MVS, the full kit for $30 brand new, because there were so many of them. Yeah, because at the time, there were so many of them, and they couldn't sell them, so it was $30. It was $30 on Neo Store for forever. And then eventually it sold out, and now it's like at least $200 or $300 for the MVS for Rage of the Dragons. It's crazy.
EW Rooney says Slug 2 is the easiest to beat, no death to me.
I mean, if you've practiced it, I can definitely see it. I would honestly say though that Slug 1 is an easier game. I would say that's an easier game, just hands down. The thing though that about these games is they're designed so that optimally you're supposed to be able to beat every level with a slug essentially. So like at some point in every level you can get a metal slug or the camel slug or whatever, and then you get bonus points for completing it with the slug.
That's impressive. That's an intentional thing.
Yeah. Do. Oh yeah. It's very intentional in the first game as well. And then in the later games they don't do that. And I think X, there's one level where you can't, I think. But like in X, and I'm not sure if it's in 3, but like that was an intentional like design choice in in these early games. Breakers is good for a lower key MVS game. I've never actually really played Breakers. Though I'm curious, have you ever played Twinkle Star Sprites?
That's like the puzzle shooter or something like that. Right?
Yeah, it's the puzzle shooter. Yeah. It's like I feel like it's the right kind of addictive. When you get really good at it, you get really competitive in it. And when you play other people, I got my one friend who's not like a super retro game.
Oh shoot!
Whoop, wrong way. Other way.
I'm trying.
Oh no!
I threw those in the wrong direction, and then it's like I got to get a little distance here, or else it's just
you don't get squished. You're making a case for that
this Neo Geo.
Yeah, the Neo Geo. Yeah.
So I'm playing this on the RetroTink 4K, but I'm also, I have it on the CRT, and I do find that I'm just like looking at the upscaled image on the TV above it.
Mm-hmm.
Just mainly because I used my 20L5 needs to get some fixes done to it, and it takes forever for it to warm up. So now I put it 14L5 here, and it's just like a lot more difficult to look at, or else I'm going to be looking down, and then my neck's going to get all sore. So
somebody gave me apparently a 30-inch Sony PVM that like I've not tried it yet. He's like last time I used it worked. I just need to get this out of my garage, and so I have to see if it works and look at it, and I'm afraid to like to get into that with it. But I have that. And like I would, if it wasn't literally given to me, I would have never gotten it. Like it's something that expensive, right? Yeah. Like so, I have no idea what the model is. I just know it's a Sony PVM, and it's like 30 inches. I'm like, where am I going to put this? Like I literally need somebody to help me carry it to my basement.
Yeah, I was going to say that thing has got to be so incredibly heavy.
It's huge. Like and it wasn't as heavy as I thought it was going to be. Worse, but like I don't even know. Like I have to find a media cart for it even. Like to put it on, that will fit it, because it's like ridiculous. Like what I legitimately want to do is get like a 20-some inch CRT and like mod it, right?
Yeah.
Like I actually have that Trinitron that I need to talk to your friend about.
Oh yeah.
I have not unfortunately I haven't messaged him, but I haven't had like I've had a lot of back issues, and I've had a lot of medical bills. So like my money has been like really tight. In fact, like I've been listing a bunch of excess games on eBay recently.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So to try to help. Yeah, and the other unfortunate thing is like it's between that and like I've had like all this. So a long time ago, my brother lived with me, and he screwed up my life. And one of the things I found recently that he did is he ran over the well cap and broke it, and what he did is he kind of glued it back on there. So
wait, the what cap?
The well cap. So I have a well, and there's like a well pump.
Yeah.
And so he ran that over. So it's like a well at the very top of the driveway. It's like this. It's a capped well that is usually capped, but he sort of glued the cover back on the well, and then, but it was broken. It was like shattered.
Like a full well.
The well, like
a water well.
No, well, yes, it's a water well, but it's like a big piece of PVC that goes into the ground to the well. And so I have a well pump that pumps water into my house, right?
Right.
And so you can access it from the yard. There's a well head there, and it's got a capper on it, like a metal capper, so like nothing gets down in there into the well. Well, years ago, apparently he ran over the PVC and broke it, and then just sort of glued the top back on, but it was cracked and broken at the top, and I never noticed it. And so I've been having all these problems with my water, where all the sediment and dirt and shit has been getting into my water.
Oh, jeez.
And I had no idea what it was, and they were like, "Well, this can just happen on a well." And at one point, my
Scan it.
One time
I'm joking. Like at the same time.
Yeah. No, like one time, like my water stopped working completely, and I was like, "Oh no, the well pump burned up or something," because that happened before a long time ago. And I called the guy out, and he looked at it, and he's like, so the pump, there was so much sediment and dirt down there, it jerked around and ripped the wires out of the well pump. But luckily, I could just re-hook the wires back up. I was like, cool. And he's like, I'm pretty sure the reason why is because this well cap has been busted. It's like busted as hell. And all of the dirt and all of the grass when you mow the lawn and everything have been going down into your well.
Like whenever it rains, or
whenever it rained, whenever we mowed the lawn and it rained, or there's runoff or anything, it all got into the well.
Oh my gosh.
And so that is the problem. So I ended up having to pay like $700 just to fix the PVC because it was broken. He came out and did all this. And then I went out to a month later. I went and Ubered into town. I got groceries and I Ubered back in. And I'm like, thanks for the ride. When you leave, be very, very careful. There's a wellhead right here. Don't run into it because it sits up about. It's like 3 feet out of the ground. It's like pretty tall, and it's really hard to miss it. But I'm like, hey, be careful not to back into it because you could easily back into it because it's at the top of the driveway. Well, this guy proceeded to turn around in my driveway and then drive straight into it and break it in half.
Like doing the worst possible thing that you told him not to do.
Not only did I tell him not to do it, but he didn't even back into it. He drove forward into it. The front of his car was pointed at it somehow. And I remember I was standing by the door with the groceries, and I looked over, and you know those like moments where life turns into slow motion?
Yeah.
I was like, no. And I saw it, and it broke off.
How specific did I need to be?
Yeah, and like I go over, I was like, "What are you doing? Why did you do this?" And he's like,
You're so stressed out about not doing it.
Yeah, and he's like,
I couldn't stop thinking about not doing it.
Yeah, and the guy was like, and you told me not to do it. And I was like, yeah, I told you not to do it. Yeah, I got into the guy's head.
Yeah.
He panicked. But he lined up the front of his car and drove straight into it. And I was like, what do I do? And he's like, well, and he's like, well,
the ice when you go in the water, sorry.
Oh yeah. Oh, this is the final level, by the way.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's hard as hell. Like I've never even tried to like practice this really. So he's like, well, call Uber Insurance and report it, and tell them what happened. And I took pictures of everything. And he got out of there quick because he was like, I think he was worried about his, getting a bad review or whatever. And like, I don't know, I don't really get super mad, but I was like really upset. Like I was like, why did you do this? Like I'm not yelling at him. I was like, why? Like when I told you not, like I warned you. Like why did you do it? So I ended up messaging Uber and I was like, hey, there's an accident. This guy did this, blah, 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 blah. And then their response, and I'm sure it was a robot response, was, oh, we're sorry for your inconvenience. We're refunding your Uber drive for $15.
Thank you.
And I was like, I think you didn't read my email. He literally ran over my well. Here's a picture. I sent
I'm sorry, look at that animation.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I know it's just like repeating, but that is super cool looking.
Oh yeah, there's some amazing, like that, the explosions, like there's so much cool stuff in this one that's such a step up from Metal Slug 1.
I mean, that's crazy looking. And I know that it's just repeating, it's just like
it's a looped animation, but still it's like it's all like a 2D machine could do this.
Yeah.
Like have that much memory to do it.
Yeah.
Is something.
I mean, that's something that's like a video I always wanted to do, like effects in older games that are still impressive now.
Oh yeah, like this is Alan O'Neill.
Yeah, he is in the first one, right?
Yeah, Alan O'Neill.
He's back.
Come on, boy. The trick to him, and it's hard to, like I've not practiced him enough, is you want to keep towards the top, and then like when he starts when he gets to the middle, you need to get towards the middle, because and you can't be near him because he'll one hit kill you with the gun band, and so you sort of go towards the middle. So I want you to try and guess what movie came out around the time this game was made when the next thing happens.
Okay.
As a movie buff, I'm sure you'll recognize. Come on, boy. See you in hell.
That thing right there?
Whale. You're a killer whale.
Is it like Deep Blue Sea?
No, it was Free Willy. Had just come out.
Oh, okay.
So the killer whale, yeah. So that's why it was in the mindset.
Yeah, because this is 97 probably, right?
Deep it was close to
one of those.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And the next one the thing at the very end you'll definitely recognize the movie, I'm sure.
There was $5 for Mega X6. Thank you. But no message. Mega X6 never usually leaves a message. Just thank
Mega
you.
XD6. Thank you very much. But yeah, so long story short, I had to have them come out again. It cost me another $700 to fix it, and then I was like, because I told the Uber people, they're like, well, can you get a estimate on this and whatever? I was like, well, listen, I have to have this fixed. I'm not getting dirt in my water again. So I'm just going to get it fixed and send you the thing, and you can decide if you're going to comp the whole thing or not, because I'm just getting it done. And the lady was like, sure, that makes sense. And I sent it, and they covered it in full, luckily, thankfully. So I got that money back. But it was like a month-long process,
Yeah.
So I think here is where they do another hint of the aliens, because you see their ship is up here, and it's in there it is. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I killed one of them.
Oh, and in fact, I think if you're not quick enough, you don't see those aliens there. But if you're quick, you see those guys. I believe is how it works. But yeah, you can already see that you're in the third area of this level.
Yeah.
At this point. Jump.
Oh.
Oh, the hitbox got you. Maybe buried. Well, no, you can't. Legally, the well has to be 2 to 3 feet off the ground for legal reasons. And it was worse before because it used to actually be at the ground level, but they would just run over it. And so when cars kept running it over and ground out the electrical and burned up the well one time. And it sucks because they can't have it in the middle of the yard. It has to be where it is. So it's I need to put a rebar or something there that protects it. I need to figure out a way to protect it better.
Do you do a lot of your home stuff, home repairs and stuff? If you can.
I do. Oh, yeah, definitely I do. But my uncle helps me a lot, honestly. I probably told this story before, but the long story short is my mom passed away. My brother, she was very sick, and I took care of her for a long time, and I was sort of paying the bills here, and my brother came to help me, quote unquote. And he, after my mom passed away, he ended up staying here with his wife, and he wouldn't leave. He squatted here, and so he ended up being a horrible kind of drug addict, and he stole everything I owned. And then I had to evict him from here. And
he stole all your games, right? Is he the one who stole?
He stole all my games, all my movies, but he also stole and sold all anything of value. But that was the biggest thing he stole, was that. And he stole all my mom's stuff too. That was here. And he squatted here and wouldn't leave. I had to evict him. When he left, he squatted here for 6 months, and I couldn't stay here. And he wrecked this entire place. And I was very lucky for my uncle. He came in and helped me fix the entire helped me repaint everything, clear out the furniture to redo the floor. Because when I came here, I had 2 TVs here, and the TV that I had, I found it and plugged it in, and there was he punched the TV. You can see that there's a fist smash in the TV. It was pretty bad. But luckily my uncle helped me fix all the stuff here. And so we did that all because I would have never been able to afford it if it wasn't for him. I'm so lucky for my uncle. He's awesome. But yeah, like that's like not trying to like that's not really like a sob story because I've gotten like way like I've been way past that and thankfully like things worked out for me. But yeah, like it was a lucky thing. So like I try and do most things myself, and I can't like I asked my uncle to try and help me with them first because he was a contractor, like he's retired, but like he was a contractor, so like he finished the entire basement, like did all the like it was not my basement was not a finished basement before, and now it's got like drywall and flooring and like there's like a bathroom down there now. Like he helped like if he didn't like do it, he knew the exact professional to get in to do it. Like it was I was lucky. Oh, the hitbox on these rockets, it's the fire is clear, so you can jump through the bottom of the rockets.
Oh, okay.
So like the top is like where the hitbox is. If you're just trying to jump past them, it's hard no matter what though. This is like where the slowdown's the worst, I think.
Yeah, but it's like it's almost intentional, you know.
Well, I mean, yeah, it helps. See how you got it. Coury's a fast learner. You're, honestly, you're like really good at this for playing it for the first time. Like the fact that you got all the way through to the next to the last level to the boss of that on the base amount of lives.
Well, that's not that many. I had it at 5.
Well, so I mean, normally you start with 4. So, oh no, you didn't get the grenades. Doesn't matter. I don't think you can get them now. Actually.
Yeah, they're just slightly off screen.
Yeah. This is so cool to me.
Maybe time for Gun Force on the SNES. You know, I never really played it.
Gun Force?
Yeah, the SNES version.
Let's see. We got P99. I'm not sure what that is.
I don't
Franco
know
Chan? Is it? Well, thank you for the 99 Pokemon dollars. Brady, what is your fave goat port of Metal Slug? You know, I'm not sure about ports.
Like Go-At?
Well, greatest of all time.
Oh yeah, I know. I just like saying Go-At.
Go-At. the EGOT of Metal Slugs. Why did I think didn't know that? I'm dumb.
I don't know. It's interesting. You never know. You never know with people our age, and I'm finding that it's even more so. You know, like talking to my wife about a lot of stuff, and I don't know. It's very funny. Like especially like hearing like slang terms and stuff. Especially like having kids.
Oh, like do your kids say Riz? Is that?
Oh yeah. But you know, it's like, I think it's very funny to ask my kids, like what certain things mean. Like I asked my daughter, I'm like, what does "got" mean? And she just thinks it's so funny. Awesome. Not that I think that she thinks it's more funny that. Not that I don't know, but she has to tell me, and she's like embarrassed to tell me.
Like well, my friend's daughter over the weekend said she's fed, and I'm like, what is that? Like that? Like,
I haven't heard that before.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, it means like she's eating good or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Like, and it was like a compliment to her like drip. Right, like she was dressed really nice.
Yeah.
Like, oh, she's fat. It's like eating well. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's like, and then she was like, it's like she's got Riz or something like that. I'm like, all right. It's like I know Riz. I understand that one. But it was like I'd never heard that before. Like, she's fed. Like I was like, okay.
Yeah. I think it's even more fun to like ask my daughter like what certain things mean, like when she has friends over.
Oh, just to kind of embarrass her a little bit.
Yeah, well, just because I think it's funny to make her say it, which I think is like maybe horrible. Does
she roll her eyes like Dad?
Yeah.
It's like, not in front of my friends, Dad.
Yeah. It's like, well, I don't.
Not in front of my friends, Dad. not that your daughter is a surfer dude, but like, it's like, gosh.
But that's when I asked about yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
now. Did you know beforehand?
No,
or did you
no.
Just,
I was literally did not know. I just heard that, and she's like, it means big butt. Like, like, well, now I know. Like, I literally did not know what that one meant at the time.
Oh, okay.
But there's a crashed alien flying saucer right there too.
Yeah.
Although, you know, I've seen the aliens now.
Yeah, if you're slow though, you don't see the aliens there, but you were fast on it. I think that's how it works. And then like, if you're not fast enough, then the first time you see them is like later in this level. Like, oh no, there we go.
I like that they made this like high pitched sound when they die.
The little squeak, squeaky. Actually, it's funny because the dolphins in Dolphin Blue use the same sample, I think. Actually, because it sounds like a dolphin, like it sounds like that. Yeah. So like they used it in that. Like I think that uses a lot of Metal Slug sounds, even though like I don't think it shares any of the like team or whatever. It's obviously inspired by it. Dolphin Blue.
There's another 99. Maybe it's pence. I don't know.
Pence. Pokemon dollars.
From Franco Chan. Thank you. Asking what port of Metal Slug do we fancy the most? I don't know if we answered that the first time.
Sorry.
We got into like, but even still, like, what do we fancy the most? Gosh.
I don't know if like the thing is like most of the ports are arcade perfect. So
like there's like the PS2 ones, like the PS2 collection and the Wii collection, like they are good, but the PS2 version has like insane input lag.
Like it's not worth that one's not worth it. That's the Wii version.
The Wii has waggle for grenades, right? It's like forced waggle for grenades. Like who made that decision?
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
beyond. Like
I mean, I would say the Wii one's more playable. It doesn't have lag to it.
Right, but I mean, waggling for.
Oh yeah, I know. I remember getting
grenades,
it and being like,
why would they do that? Like, it's like forced, I think.
Yeah, and the only other thing you can do in that one is play. Like, it doesn't. It was an early enough one that it doesn't support the Wii Pro controller.
Right.
So you can only use the GameCube pad with it, and that's like try to play that with the GameCube pad.
Yeah.
Like what? That seems worse. Like who decided that? But the only other thing that's bad about that one is they took out all of the hit flash from it, so it looks really weird. When you play it,
like trying to prevent like an epilepsy.
Yeah. Like later on, the Wii Virtual Console versions were better.
Yeah.
But those are always emulations. Like if you're wondering, like my favorite Metal Slug game, it's 2. Like 2 is definitely my favorite one. This is the one I favor the most. Even over X. Like I love this more than X, which is a lot of people's favorites. But X is unbound. Like it's not as fair as this one. This version of it. If you're actually talking about legit ports, the port of Metal Slug 3 on PS2 and Xbox, has a lot of cool bonus content. Like it's got
they
like
they're standalone games, which they were like actual ports, not emulations. I think. Yeah,
they were actual ports, and you can like there's a mode where you get to play the soldiers in that.
Really?
Yeah, you get to play through a bunch of the game as the actual soldiers. It's really quite cool. So like that port is definitely one of the coolest ports. Like and I'm pretty sure most of that's in like a lot of the stuff that's in the PS2 one is in that Xbox one, and then the Xbox one has even more kind of cool stuff to it. So that was the first really good port of a Metal Slug game. Metal Slug 4 on PS2 is good. Metal Slug 5 on PS2 is good. Those are all good ports, and those are actual ports, not emulations. Technically, the port of the only really good game on that Metal Slug PS2 collection is the Metal Slug 6 is a legit port, and it's actually a decent port. It doesn't have input lag, I don't think, in Metal Slug 6 in that because it's not an emulation; it's a port.
I see.
You know, I keep worrying about getting too technical, but then I realize what stream I'm on. Like, oh yeah, people know what this stuff is.
You know, it's funny because I was doing that flashcart compilation video that I just put out, and I was like, you know, I should just do like a series of videos where it's just like looking at as many emulation compilations as possible, because I think that at this point it's really interesting, like how things have changed over the years.
Well, I was going to say that because
like those digital Eclipse collections where there's like 1 million games in them.
Yeah.
And like, you know, there's 1 million games in it, but like none of them were like done like super well compared to like, and I think that people are like, oh, I wish that they would go back to doing compilations like that. It's like, actually, you probably don't. I think that it's where they have to juggle so many.
Well, I like the how they're doing it on Switch, where like a company will do like here's like a shooter collection or something, right? Or here's like all the Darius games. Or I like that approach more than like here's Sonic's Ultimate Genesis collection, where it's 9,000 games emulated, kind of okay, right? Like,
yeah.
And that was awful. Like, it's funny. One of my very first you made it outside. We're at the final part.
Is this the final part? Oh, he's always going to get blown up.
This is the final boss. And so, like,
I love that it's just really like 1950s style aliens, though. Like,
oh yeah, yeah.
Like totally War of the Worlds type stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, he's obviously a parody of Saddam Hussein.
Yeah.
From the 90s, right? Because this is when this came out. But they blast him and they betray him. The little story, they betray he's the evil general, the evil Death Satan General Morden, I think is his name.
Death Satan?
His name is some like that. His like title is something like really ridiculous like that. But he's the evil General Morden, and it's like it's really funny that like, oh, he becomes like such a chump here, right? Like, so these guys, the trick to them is to luckily they go away when you want to if you grenade them, I think it's once or twice they'll die.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, and if you have the heavy machine gun, you can also take them out pretty fast. So yeah, you want to keep like.
I assume that there's multiple.
There's multiple forms. Yeah, you want to go left. Yeah.
They're dropping pigs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, they either give you it's a good thing to kill them first with a couple of grenades because they usually drop pigs or heavy machine guns. The little guys. So like you'll run out of heavy machine gun bullets, but you want to kill like them fast to get another heavy machine gun essentially. The optimal way to beat this too is like you're playing the stage, right? And you save up like 60 to 80 grenades, and the way they want you to like the way that they kill this fast is to have like 80 grenades when you get here and just spam the grenades on the big ship. Like that's like the way to beat this part.
You guys like waste it really quick.
Yeah, you just like because like you're just spamming them, but like that's why they have you like you're supposed to like keep it for that.
You know, JS Nepo,
Here you go.
J Snippo. I have a version that is hacked for 240p on the PS2 version. I should try that.
Of what?
Of the Metal Slug collection because it's 480i. But
yeah,
there's a hack. You can hack the ISO for it and make it enforce 240p.
Do you recognize this?
You mean just like Independence Day?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But but this is 100% like stolen from that. But there'll be something a little bit where you'll be like, oh, yeah.
Oh, right there. You mean the big laser?
Not just the big laser though. You'll see.
Man, my son is like way into Godzilla right now. I mean, watching old Godzilla movies, and he's like, I want to watch Zilla. You know, the American one. And I'd only seen it once.
Zilla?
Yeah, because he had just seen it referred to as that. You know?
Oh, that's cute though.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The enemy soldiers are your friends now. They're trying to help you. Yeah. Just like when I first played this, I was so confused. I was trying to kill them, but no, they're actually trying to help you. So none of their stuff will hurt you.
I'm probably not going to finish it because I'm.
You can do it. You can do it, Coury.
And is this the final form?
Yeah, this is the final form. You can definitely do this. even if you have the continuum. Like, you've got this. You can also use their tanks and stuff to shield. There's also going to be a metal slug soon that you can get into.
Oh.
So yeah, like you can hide under them and stuff. Like they'll take the. Yeah, see how
They'll
he
take
shielded.
the bullets for me.
Yeah, like he put up his shield and like.
Just gotta keep these heavy machine guns coming.
Yeah. Hopefully they'll drop you.
But yeah, watching Zilla, you know, I'd only seen it one time, and that was in the theater.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so I hadn't seen it since it came out.
There's your metal slug.
And it's like it's a real turd.
It's interesting. It's also like when you notice like half of the cast of The Simpsons are main characters in it.
Oh, really? I didn't.
Well, yeah, like oh no.
I know.
Like the cameraman is Hank Azaria,
right?
And then the newscaster is Harry Shearer, who's like Mr. Burns and
oh yeah, really?
All that. Yeah, and then the secretary is Nancy Cartwright. So like, yeah, it's a real, and it's like the directors were like, yeah, we didn't really want to make a Godzilla movie, and it's like, well, obviously it shows, right?
Well, what I think is even sillier is the fact that like the mayor of the city is Roger Ebert.
Roger Ebert and it's Siskel and Ebert, right? Like his partners. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that just them saying, you know, they hated our movies. They hate the kind of movies we make, so we're just gonna.
It was they gave a bad review to their movies, so they put them in there to stick it to them, right? Yeah.
It's my last life.
That's like 100% the reason why. You're so close, Coury. You're so close.
If I just had a heavy machine gun, I did it with my last life.
You did?
With the handgun.
Yeah. Now see if you recognize this.
I'm back.
Yeah, like legitimately the ending to ID4. Like I love the ending to this. Like it's just so like silly and fun. Like,
yeah.
These games are always silly and fun like this. Like the second one is second and onward.
Godzilla -1 is great.
I haven't seen it.
It's very, very good. I took my son to see it.
Oh, did you?
Because he's a big fan, but he's
like, why is he naked? Why is he naked? Why did they do that to him?
Yeah, they're probably probing him, right? They're doing some
experiments.
Jeez. But yeah, my son, he's 9, and we are like, I'm gonna take him, and I was like, it's all in Japanese, so you got to read.
Mission all over, you got it.
There it is, Mission. I love
Mission
that.
all over.
But he loved it. He loved the fact that it was subtitled, and I feel like he understood the plot more than he would have, like listening to it.
Oh, really?
And now he's like all about like subtitled things.
Oh, really? Oh, interesting.
He gets like really excited when things are subtitled.
Huh.
Well, look at
my friend's daughter is like that. She's like, I don't want to watch dubbed anime, and I'm like, I like dubbed anime. Because I watch both of them usually, right? Like, but like, she's like, oh, it just has to be subtitled. But it's interesting that he's so into that. Like you say, he was 10?
9.
9. Okay, yeah. My friend's buddy, because we just got back.
When we saw Godzilla.
Oh wow, yeah. My friend's buddy just turned, I think, 9 as well today. Like his birthday's in 2 days. I just actually got back from his birthday party. So yeah, like he's getting into that. Like he's so into. We got him into like Tears of the Kingdom, and he's like into reading it all. Like
that's
just
cool.
like like he's at that point where he can read, so he's like really into it.
Yeah.
We got a $20 donation from EW Rooney.
Rooney.
Rooney. He says.
Rooney.
So there was.
Sorry,
Rooney.
You know what I'm talking about? Ferris Bueller.
Rooney. Rooney. Bueller. Thank you very much. So there's an early version of Independence Day that has Randy Quaid's character fly his prop plane into the mothership instead of the fighter jet, just like in this game. it made me think that Japan saw that version and said, it's possible. I wonder if that's a thing, because sometimes Japan would get different versions of movies.
I don't know.
Game over. You did it, and now you have the save.
Now I got the save. Should I play X
TJC.
now? For a little bit. We got 30 minutes left, so I could. Should I play X or 3?
If you want to see the differences, there's no way you'll get to the end of 3, or even X. But like, if you want to see what the differences are like, that might be a neat thing to do. X.
Let's do that.
Definitely not slow down. Yeah, check it out. I can actually point out some of the things they did to speed it up. Rudy. Bebop is amazing, Dub. I've been revisiting that recently. The universe BIOS.
X is gonna give it to me.
X is gonna give it to you.
I got to
knock. Open up the door. It's real. There's that Resident Evil 2 meme where Mr. X, he timed it. That's what my buddy Magama, I think, made that.
Oh, really?
He made that meme where it's the X gonna give it to you to Resident Evil 2, and it's like Mr. X opens up the door. He's like, knock, knock, open up the door. It's real. I timed it like perfectly.
Well, I can give myself 30. How many lives can I give myself? 100?
I don't know on this. Oh, that's right, because you have the debug enabled. So, yeah, you can do that. It's probably like 99 or double F maybe if it's going in hex. Yeah, 99.
Whoops.
You rolled over. Oh, you're not going to give yourself 99 lives?
No.
He's like, I'm not that much of a cheater. Like, I would just credit feed it originally. Like, that's what I would do.
Do I have a CMVS? No, I have an Omega. I think it's the Omega MVS.
Old school bookkeeping. Yeah, my Open MVS doesn't have like the Unibios. I need to get one for it. So I'm just stuck playing it arcade way. What'd you say? I'm sorry.
I had a friend make it for me. What's the Vulcan fix?
The Vulcan fix, it fix, like when you're on the slug, it will fix the position of the gun.
Oh, when you're like
rotating it, there's a way to
that's
like in this game also it changes the metal slug attack to D versus 2 buttons together. That's why so when you kept accidentally shooting off the metal slug, it's because you press jump and shoot at the same time by accident.
Okay.
Because that's how you did it in 1, and they changed it to D here.
So the difference here is that this is at nighttime instead of
completely, but also all of the enemies are different too, because you see it's soldiers here instead of the sword like throwing guys.
I see.
But no, there's a lot of differences in this. It's like a completely different game. Also, like if you notice, like the sands aren't moving anymore in the background, because that was like one of the big memory hogs in the original.
Oh, okay.
So that's how they fixed that in this level. You
can tell this is a lot faster moving.
Oh yeah, no, this is like almost full speed. Yeah, for sure. They optimized it because a lot of people complain, but also they like the enemy placements are like less in a lot of places, and like or they're like all the enemy placements and stuff are different in this. Yeah, and more like Ichimonji's in different places. Like there's a lot of different stuff, and all the levels have different palettes. I believe like Yeah, there's a lot of different stuff in this.
How dare I? What? Oh, that I didn't pick Theo. That I picked Aerie instead. I don't know. I like her bandana. I like that the hair.
Listen, I would have picked Theo if I was playing. But I'm a Theo. I'm a Theo fan. That's my Metal Slug waifu. Yeah, like I like Theo and Nadia. They're my two favorites. Even though Nadia's like, oh, like see, yeah, like this guy's not here originally, right? And then also there's the Mars people, like hiding in there. That you burned them to death. It's the baby.
Should I get into the Metal Slug and?
Yeah.
You can't flip from one to the other.
Oh yeah, you just press down and jump.
Right. I was thinking I could flip out of one of them and flip into
that would be
land
funny.
in the other one, but
that would have been funny.
Doesn't work.
Oh, I'm behind because I was looking at the actual stream and not the not your thing. My bad.
Yeah, I understand. It was. I know that I'm using turbo because of the controller.
That's fine.
That I'm technically like cheating, but
that's fine. Like you're just not hurting your hands.
Yeah.
Like you're not playing this to perfect it.
There's certain games that you need to have turbo, or else it's just like makes it supremely unfun.
This one is one where turbo is very helpful.
Yeah.
I think it's doable without it, but yeah, it's.
I'm sure
very
it's
helpful.
Like, totally fine and doable without it. But I think about.
So this one's not in
Zone?
the regular Metal Slug 2.
This was in part 1.
Yeah, exactly. So they swapped this boss in from that. Like they changed the boss.
But Fantasy Zone is one of those games that it makes it a lot easier and just so much more fun, like with rapid fire.
Oh, so you think like that's one of those games where like not having rapid fire is like really detrimental?
Yes. You
did it. Oh wow, and you got a lot of the soldiers too.
Yeah, Lieutenant.
And you got Rumi Akawa. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll show you a trick on this.
Mr. Dots completed Golvelius in the Valley of Doom.
Oh, cool. So this is daytime now.
So they swapped them.
Yeah. So don't blow this up right away. Don't.
Too late.
Oh, no, never mind.
I couldn't resist.
Couldn't help yourself.
It was just saying, shoot me.
Blow me up.
Does this have more levels overall though, too?
No, it's all the same levels.
I see.
Interestingly, though, in the ROM itself, it has all of the levels from Metal Slug 1 in it.
Really?
For some reason, yeah. They're not all populated, but they're all there for some reason. So, like, if you go into the debug, like,
yeah,
you can go into the levels that aren't even in this game. And in fact, there are prototype levels from Metal Slug 3 hidden in this.
Dude, that's like got to take up so much space.
Oh yeah, like it's gotta like double the ROM size or something.
Yeah, right. Like for stuff that they're not even using, and people are paying for that.
Oh yeah, like it's interesting what's hidden in this because like
that's messed up.
It's kind of considering like how expensive the carts were, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, these mummy dogs are new to this.
I jumped on it. It let me bounce on its head.
Bounce it. Flame shot. So, also in this game, you remember how there's the one level where you can get big?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure in this version you can get big if you're not careful in every episode.
Oh.
Or every level. In the original Metal Slug 2, you can only get big in you could only get big in that one level. And he only like the whoa big comes from this game and not 2.
See Dennis Bolaños has 7 CAs. I'm not sure
Canadian.
what it is. Oh, Canadian. Duh, of course it is.
Canadian. Canadian A?
Are asking if I am Swedish, just curious based on your last name. And yes, I do have Swedish heritage in my family.
In your blood?
In my blood. But thank you for asking.
One of my best pals is Canadian, who I play Monster Hunter with.
Oh,
saying sorry all the time, and my friend like makes fun of him.
I would go to Canada all the time when I lived in Buffalo.
Oh, really? I've been one time. I went to the falls. I've been to the Canadian side.
Yeah. We just went to my kids to the falls this past summer. It was a really good time, but I used to go all the time because I went to the University of Buffalo, and it was very close, and it was like in a pre 9/11 world, you didn't need like a passport or anything to go.
Oh yeah, I remember going before 9/11, and the border guard like chewed my mom out because she didn't have and this was before 9/11, that she didn't have the passport.
Really?
And I remember the border guard being like, what would happen if he was kidnapped on the Canadian border and then we didn't have his passport and all this sort of stuff. And like the border guard made an example of my mom.
Oh, jeez.
Like on the bus in front of all these people, and trying to scare her or something. My mom was not scarable. And was like, well, we'll let you go this time, but if you come back, make sure you have your passport. That'd be a lesson to all of you to always have your passport just in case.
That's messed up.
Yeah, it was very messed up. Like we were on like a tour, right? And it was like so screwed up. But yeah, like I remember back then you could go across without your passport. Like
it was just like a normal thing. I mean, we when I was in college, we'd just go all the time because the drinking age was 19.
Oh wow, okay.
So we would just go over there.
I like that you opened the chest and you got another chest from it.
It's got a chest within a chest, so you can open chests when you open chests.
Can't remember what this slug's called. I do like though when you use the C, the grenade.
Yeah.
It's like it looks like it like poops the the little like the or you could say it's something else, but I always thought that was weird.
And this is the only time it ever like appears
in this game. Well, I think it's in 3. I think it's in 3 as well. But yeah, like look at that explosion animation though. Yeah. Oh, he's shooting up the lasers. So yeah, when he shoots the lasers, you just go to the left. The thing about this boss, you want to go to the left or right. There you go. The thing about this boss though is you really don't have to keep jumping fast like that. You can take your time because he only periodically goes up like that, right? Like he only periodically, and you can. Oh, you gotcha. Unfortunately, that slug, if you break the,
I got him though.
You got him. Boom. But like you can see here, like you beat both of these first 2 levels like almost without dying now. Like it's like definitely doable. This one though, because it doesn't have the slowdown, the later levels with like those rockets and all that get to be almost impossible.
Yes. Verducci, man, I grew up like out just outside of Buffalo, like an hour and 10 minutes southwest, I guess, in a town called Jamestown. See, back in the mid 90s, Neo Geo MVS carts were like $200, crazy.
Yeah, and that's cheap now.
Yeah. Well, even like our MVS cartridges like super expensive now too. Like the moment of them being affordable.
A lot of them
has passed.
They are more affordable, but they're so like getting like Twinkle Star sprites on MVS is like $1,000.
Oh my gosh.
Like Metal Slug is still pretty. Metal Slug 1, 2 are pretty affordable. Metal Slug X is fairly affordable. Metal Slug 3 is a couple $100. Metal Slug 4 is $100 some. Metal Slug 5 is very expensive. If you want that, the MVS of that, it's cheaper to get. Like there's 2 versions of Metal Slug 5. There's the MVS cart, and then there's MVS 5 that's a board. That's just an MVS board with the game on the ROMs, right? It's cheaper to get the full arcade board than it is to just get the MVS cart for 5.
Oh, I'm big.
Big. This stuff's so fun.
I see. Paul Sutton's in the chat. I've been thinking about that Batsu gun the last day, and both those Kiki Kai Kais. I'm curious how much you have the price on those on Kiki Kai Kai, like both of them, like the Japanese versions of 1 and 2. Like those are.
Is he selling them or?
Yeah, he owns a store like I guess close to like Rochester area.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I assume called Game Craze.
Oh, cool. Okay. Awesome. Always support local stores, man. Homeowned stores.
I know Paul because we frequented the same forums for a long time, and that's the forum I've like talked to you about that before because the Next Level forums.
Oh yeah.
Because that's you worked on Hardcore Gamer magazine.
Correct. Yeah, and that's where that kind of started.
It kind of spawned out of
people talking there about making a magazine.
Yeah.
Which is where I learned things. Also, thank you to McGinty 2. You need to go and destroy McGinty 1 and take your place as the number 1 McGinty because thank you for telling us that it's the Slugnoid. And thank you for the 279 Canadian. And I'm very sorry that I did not see your quote earlier. Your thing earlier. Oh yeah, this is a thing too that would happen if you didn't destroy this fast enough. There would be tanks at the top of it, if I remember correctly. Oh no, the soldiers would come out and they changed this one.
I just like that the tanks are just
up on top there.
Yeah.
Infinite, yeah.
And they just like are suiciding down on you. But Paul Sutton used to have, I don't think he has it anymore. He used to have like a replica of the Sega Rally car.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool. Suicide tanks. Like suicide.
Suicidal tank just driving off.
I'm going to drive this tank off into them. Oh, you got this is the worst weapon. It might be okay there, but like the drop shot. And the Iron Lizard are terrible. Like that's the other thing too. The new weapons they added to this are not very helpful in my opinion. Drop shot and Iron Lizard. Corey's got some Metal Slug skill.
I'm just getting lucky. But
it's half the thing in these games. Ooh, you took that out fast.
I don't know. I have moments where it's like I'm
well when you get really into the groove, man, like
exactly, and that's the thing I like about like bullet hell stuff too, is where you get into this groove of your body is just doing things.
Yeah, and you're like it's like seat of your pants.
Yes, and you have no idea like what you're even doing. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Dude, there is
like pure instinct.
Yeah, oh yeah. Dude, there was a really cool shmup that I played at MagFest for Switch. It's called it's also on Steam too. It's called Risk System. And like it actually fired for you and it was all about like you had to like do all this like specific like dodging and stuff. Mm-hmm. It was really cool. Like, and the animation in it is really cool too. It was like an indie game.
I think I saw something about like that getting a physical release recently.
Yeah, it's getting a physical. Yeah, it's really neat. I played it there, and I want to get the physical when it comes out because like it was like I enjoyed the rhythm of the dodging and stuff like that, and like it always fired for you, but you still had to like aim, right? Excuse me. You still had to like aim, like and take out things in a certain way, and it was almost like a puzzle to it too. It was very cool. So you can like go under it while it's shooting that gun.
I was gonna say like that.
So yeah, like while you're, it's like this. Be under it now. You want to get from when it shoots the steam. You want to leave.
Okay.
So the steam is the warning to get from under it, essentially. That and that gun.
That's almost.
Oh, you did it. You did it. You did it, Corey. you are the Metal Slug. Be the Metal Slug.
I'm doing okay.
You're doing rather well for and plus you're playing on arcade difficulty.
Well, it's 3, right? Or is it 3 or 4 that's arcade?
3 is MVS, I think. If not, it's still normal. I mean, it's still pretty good. Boom. Is that Ichimonji? I can't remember where Ichimonji is in this one. But yeah, this is like way different. Like how they had this set up. Like they're all different. I like the layouts of 2 better, and I think that the set pieces are set up a little more fun and like in that level they put the boss for level 1 as the mid boss, and then you fought the regular boss.
Oh, look at the bouncing grenades. Is that
shot.
new? Oh,
that's new for this. Yeah, drop shot. That's new for this. And this is not very useful. Like it's not. It's like your bullets are delayed. Also, it's got these stupid rockets that follow you. Hate that shit.
You know, what I finally got around to watching the other day. Well, several things like this week. Because I didn't want to get into anything because of Final Fantasy. I didn't want to start like a longer game or anything like that. I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once.
All at once? Oh, wow.
I'd never seen
experience.
It was really, really good. But I couldn't stop thinking about...
go back. Oh, you went too far. Yeah,
what a nightmare it would have been to like make.
Oh, to keep track of it? Well...
Yes. Well, not only that, but just... There's like so many quick shots of...
Oh, yeah.
Of like... I can't imagine them actually like filming every single one of those quick shots that they use.
Oh, like imagine like just the organization skills to schedule it, like to
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, for heck yeah! Like that movie. I think of like that movie. It's such a good movie, but it's also like sensory overload watching it.
Oh yeah.
It's like it is so. It's very hard to follow. Like not hard to follow it, but like
it's hard to follow.
It's like but just sensory overload.
There
like,
he is. We got him. I got
him. Ichimonji.
Hoi! He's like, hoi!
Paul Sutton says, I love that Celica, but time caught up to it, so I sold it. Started having mechanical issues, and the cosmetics were losing their luster. I hear there are still occasional sightings of it in the area.
That's cool. So somebody still has it, like, around there.
That's cool.
Yeah.
My buddy has the 8.6 from Initial D, the Hachiroku, the Corolla, which is very cool, and we drive it to Otakon usually.
Let's just see. Oh, I'm dead. I like when you die when you're big and like pops.
Oh yeah. There's just so many lovely like cute animations. Like
yeah,
it's
like
cool.
viscerally like kind of gross at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Just in when you think about what is occurring, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Does it have the tofu shop decal on the side? I assume that's.
Oh, the Fujiwara tofu shop. Yeah, I believe he does have it on there. It's silver. He wants to paint it white, like the thing with the. Like silver is really close to what it actually is, but I think it's technically painted white in the actual show. But yeah, he does have the tofu.
Oh, this thing is back.
Yeah, the crazy ship.
But speaking of anime, so like my son also, is like kind of getting into watching like different anime and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I am probably a little bit too lax for like what I say.
He's
like
watching?
Okay, it's like, well, yeah. I mean, he just watched One Punch Man.
Okay.
Which probably not the right thing for someone his age. But whatever.
Yeah, he was so long as he's mature enough to handle it, right? Like
yeah. I mean, I think so. But then after that, after he finished, like he's like caught up. I'm like, oh, we'll watch. It's like I'm gonna watch Attack on Titan.
Oh, geez, I don't know about.
Well, he said I'm gonna watch that, and then he was like halfway through it, and he's like, I came back in the room, and he was not watching it, and he's like, they were too scary.
Yeah, it's very
like they're too scary, and then like one of them like ate the mom.
Yeah. How many episodes did you watch?
Oh, he couldn't finish the first one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's very. Like it's good that he self-policed himself though, kind of.
Yeah.
Like that's really cool. Like, yeah, that one would be like one, I don't know, like One Punch Man is very much like a Dragon Ball almost. Like it's got some stuff in it, but it's still pretty silly.
Well, he likes Dragon Ball a lot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's your son's got some good taste.
I mean, he just goes through like whatever's on Hulu.
Oh, gotcha.
Because whatever, but
I don't know. I wonder if he'll like Spy Family. That's a really cute, for the most part.
Oh yeah,
it's a little violent, but it's very cute. It's very like wholesome, and then.
Would that be? You think that would be on there? Because I don't want to like pay for something like Crunchyroll. Like I just don't think that's something. I don't need another service to pay for.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty bummed that like I think I talked to you about this, about how I'm like bummed that I'm going to be losing all my digital content on Funimation.
Oh, the Funimation, yeah.
Whenever that's supposed to happen, I think that's like really soon, or is that? Like
I think
March,
that's.
Did it happen March 1st or something stupid?
I don't know. I mean, I never really had anything on there, but I think it's dumb that if you bought stuff that was digital and it's just going away. I don't like that. I think that's just not good business. Did you have a bunch of stuff on there, or like?
No, not a lot. I mean, a lot of it was just stuff that my brother like will buy stuff, and like it like annoys me so much that this is like what happened. That he does this. I don't even understand. Like if he gets something that has a digital copy, he will like throw out the digital copy code, and
not use it.
Not like till I was like, we like just give them to me. And he was doing it for a minute, and then he's like just goes back to throwing them away. Like,
oh wow.
I don't even understand. I don't understand. I understand, like, you know, if you're trying to buy one that does not have the digital copy with it, right? But if it comes with it, just the idea of like, I don't want anything else in this case.
Yeah.
It just makes no sense.
Well, so he throws away the digital copy, right?
He throws away the digital copy.
So what a lot of people actually do is they do the reverse. They will buy the Blu-ray for cheaper than it is to buy the stream.
Yeah.
And then they will just get the digital copy and then pawn the Blu-ray, because a lot of people don't have Blu-ray players. So like, I went to the pawn shop around here, and I bought like 6 movies for like $15. Like a lot of them like $2 or $3 for a bunch of stuff. I bought like Die Hard. I bought what do I got here? I bought Die Hard, that Tintin movie, the one which the Jet Li movie.
Yeah.
That crazy movie.
Doing multiverse stuff before it was the cool thing to do.
Yeah. What else?
That was like everything, everywhere, all at once. Before. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a crazy.
It has that crazy ending where he's like fighting, like all the different versions, whatever, on the pyramid, or like the last version of him or something. It's like,
yeah,
whatever. There was like a gigantic donation from Paul Sutton. Thank you so much. Saying I'm gonna have to charge you double, because you know we were talking about the Kiki Kai Kai. Say I have to charge you at least double, so to be getting the money back eventually through these super chats. I'll DM you. Well, I mean, if that's what you got to do. That's
awesome, though.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Paul. The one. Oh, but yeah, I picked up all these cheap, and they have all the digital codes ripped out of them. They don't have them, so it's like, oh, okay. Like, so that's what people are doing, is they're buying them, using the digital codes, and then getting rid of the movie. Because like, you can pick up some of these for like a couple bucks instead of paying $15 for the digital, like the digital version on Amazon or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like, so interesting, like sort of like life hack, I guess, or whatever that people are doing. It's like the opposite of your brother, who's like, get rid of this piece of paper. I want my discs
that I will never see unless I'm like watching this. I don't know, like it's like something like an impulse that compels him to throw it away. I don't know. But there was £5 from InGen UK. Thank you. Say, I made the jump to PC, but the question is how to preserve my games for the future. Hard drive, how to play in the future without an internet connection. So what I've done for certain things is buying things from GOG. I just you can download your stuff on GOG DRM free, and I just put it on a single flash drive for each game. That's what I've done. So for the ease games, there are certain things that were PC only, and I bought the Japanese versions, and then I would take that flash drive from the version I bought off of GOG and put it inside that box.
Oh, cool.
I mean, that's just for certain things that I really care about, like ease. I'll do that. You can also just pirate any game you do actually buy, so you support the thefts. Also, have a backup copy. Yeah, I mean that's what it comes down to. Yeah.
If you bought the game, I think that's especially if it's prohibitively DRM'd or whatever.
I like the mission select screen though in this.
Oh, is it the one where it's got Morden in the background, and he's got the
utensils?
Yeah. This is from the I think this is also in Metal Slug 2 for the Neo Geo CD. Oh, that's right. So the Neo CD version of Metal Slug X and 2 have a bunch of extra missions as well, which are really cool, extra stuff. Oh, so are you selecting?
What's that?
Are you going back to that level?
I'm just gonna play for a little bit longer.
Tarmical roving.
Yeah, we'll play Tarmical. But yeah, I mean that's what I've done in terms of backing up my PC games. You don't get that from Steam, obviously.
Yeah.
And so when it comes to getting things from GOG, I'll look for a sale or something like that. Mm-hmm. I'll buy Falcom stuff on there. Although I've also bought Falcom stuff just so I can play it on Steam Deck.
Mm-hmm. Is Ys your favorite Falcom series?
Yeah, for sure. But I have not. I've only played a couple of the Trails games or Legend of Heroes games.
Gotcha. My favorite is Popple Mail Forever.
Oh yeah. Well, yes. They would be really cool if they made a new one.
Yeah, or even just ported, did a collection of the different versions, right?
Yeah.
Like the Sega one, the PC Engine Super CD one, which is really good.
Yeah.
The PC Engine Super CD one is like the original PC 98 one.
And it says the bump. It has the bump.
It's the bump.
Yeah.
But it's also 60 frames a second, or it's got better frame rate and better art and stuff like that. So it's the primo version of the bump version.
Yeah.
I realize I'm talking into my name. Whoops.
It's all right.
I'm not paying attention to where on the screen I am.
Oh Jesus, you got me. There was something I was gonna say before that. It was but I forgot what it was. Whatever. But getting stuff off of GOG, a lot of times, if you have Amazon Prime stuff, they will have certain games for free.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think what I got. System Shock 2.
Mm-hmm.
Another $2 from InGen UK. Thank you. Asking if I have custom cases for my flash drives and or for the actual flash drives that are in there. No, I just put them in the case, in the boxes. If you get the Japanese copies, they're really come in these really big double-sized DVD cases that are inside these hard outer cases, and a lot of times with manuals.
I've been collecting some old PC stuff, like Street Fighter 2 Turbo on PC. That's on a CD to get the soundtracks and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And for a just as I got it to run on DOSBox, and I had to find apparently they had released patches for it online, to fix certain things with it. and the one on the CD was not the most recent version, and I had to find like the archive.org backup of the official patch for like this DOS game. And it was really interesting to like try and figure out where the website was and then find the patch, and then go into DOSBox and like legitimately run the patcher to update like certain things in the game. It was like an interesting journey to do that.
Something you just gotta do what you gotta do. You know, I don't.
Yeah.
It used to be a lot more difficult.
Oh yeah. And then now it's just like, oh, the internet provides and it downloads it automatically to fix this game.
I was talking to my wife recently about because my wife works with the elderly now, and she's kind of, for better or worse, is getting a taste of the role that I have had in so many facets of my life, which is like being tech service for so many people. So now she's like having to help out a lot of these elderly people. This guy has no computer. Had to get him set up on an iPad, and then it turns out, he doesn't have Wi-Fi, so she has to get him like a hotspot from T-Mobile or something. All those other things that she never had to deal with really, but she has enough experience to find her way through it, I guess. But I think that it's made her a lot more sympathetic of the role that
you play.
I've had to play. And we started talking about...
Because, of course, you're a computer guy. You know how to set up a router, right? Like, I'll just ask Coury to do it.
Right, or just, like, if anything happens, like, with, like, my mom's iPad, it's
you're immediately called?
Like, I'm immediately called. And usually it's like, well, did you turn it off, turn it back on? Do you restart it? And that's usually fixes it, right? But there's there's a whole bunch of... There's like a whole bunch of aspects to that, right? And we just got to talking about how the chances of it happening for like my kids is probably high too, because like they're just not going to have a lot of the understanding of how to work that also, because a lot of that stuff is just done automatically. Everything is so automatic for a lot of new devices. They're just not going to have any idea of how to troubleshoot anything.
Right. Well, I mean, most kids don't even really have a computer. They have like a tablet that hooks up to the internet, right?
Yeah, and it just and it's like, how come it's not letting me install this thing? It's like, okay, well, your storage is full. How do you empty that?
Yeah, what storage? Like, how do you go?
Exactly. So, I was joking, saying, I think that we're just in this like spot in between generations, and we're gonna like have to fix everything for everybody in the future until like nobody knows how to do anything anymore, until there's nobody left alive that knows how to do it.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, there's two things. A, I'm glad that like you and I are in this sweet spot where we knew the world before there was internet, really.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And like when we were kids, we did not whatever stupid things we said aren't like forever archived on the internet, right? Like, and so we're lucky that also we understand what the world was like before the internet, but also we get to enjoy the internet as well. Like, we're in that sweet spot where we get best of both worlds, right? Like, I would not want to be a kid who only lives in this space, and also when like the bullying is so much harsher, and like receipts and pictures and all that sort of stuff exists, right? Like, that's a kind of a scary thing, I think, right? So like I'm glad we're in that spot, but like also like we're in a place with even like technology where like for instance, like there's only like 2 people really in the United States who know really how to repair a Laserdisc player, right? Like, and the one guy who knows the most about it is retiring. Like, and like, so how does that knowledge continue? And it's like, well, just these, the players that are left are the ones that are going to exist. And once they're done, like, it's just going to dwindle and dwindle, right?
Is this the person that came up with that Doomsday thing?
No. But that's part of the good thing of the fact that exists to archive this stuff, right? But it's like, for instance, I bought, like, my Laserdisc player broke, and so I bought one, like, the power supply on it broke, so I bought one that said power's on, but it doesn't eject stuff. And I was like, okay, I'll swap the power supply because my power supply broke. Well, I looked at it, and, like, to disassemble it, I would never be able to put it back together. It's so complicated. And I got the service manual that tells you how to do it, and it's still, like, complicated, even with that. So, like, I was like, okay, well, I'll just try to fix this one, right? And like, I sat there and, like, from the service manual, figured out how to reset the tray, fix the tray. I got it to work, and then I got it so it would play discs on side A, but it couldn't flip over to side B. Like, and it just wouldn't work. And, like, I puzzled with it for months. And then recently I was like, well, I guess I'll just swap this piece from the other one I have into this one. And then taking that piece apart, I looked in there, and there was a little switch where one of the wires ripped out of it. And that's what was broken on it. And it was something that was buried underneath the entire carriage of it, right? And I'm sure that a person who knows these things would know how to do that. And by and large, for retro gaming consoles, information like that is out there for that stuff now. I would say that in our niche of video games, retro consoles, whatever, they're fairly well documented, how they work, how to fix them, the problems.
Yeah.
Like, there's tons of information for that stuff out there. But for Laserdisc players, there's not. Like, you have to have somebody who worked on it when it existed, right? Like, who knows their stuff. And, like, for me to figure that out, I lucked out that I decided to take the piece off that revealed that this one wire was ripped out, right? And then I was like, oh my God, is this it? Has this the thing I've been puzzling for a month? And I got it together, and I got it to work, and it plays side 2 now. Like, I felt like relief. Like, I was like, it was just that one little thing, but also, like, accomplished that I figured out, like, one wire was like broken, right? But that's the thing. Like, you're talking about, like, how our kids, or, you know, the kids nowadays won't be able to, like, fix a computer or put together a computer, but, like, there's stuff like that now that's disappearing, technology, right?
Yeah.
Like, CRTs are the same way, really.
Right. There is, like I mentioned, that Doomsday thing is because I'm sure you saw that really high quality rip of Sweet Home that came out this week.
Yeah, my friend did that. My friend Chris.
Oh, really? There you go.
They are Kinoko are behind that. He's been working on that for a while.
Yeah, it was incredible. Like, it looks so good.
I mean, I don't know if he did the thing where they averaged together 5 different laser discs. Mm-hmm. Like, there's a thing you do where you capture like 5 or 6 of them, and then you put them together, and you can get the best quality video out of it. I don't know if he did that or not, but he's amazing. He him and Tanks and Kaza, they're both really amazing people. They have helped me when if it's something that I can't deinterlace. Mm-hmm. Normally they can figure it out. They're like, I'm no slouch at that stuff, and they're like a step above me. But for Project Echo, the bonus features, the secret file and stuff, were all Doomsday. We did that through Doomsday.
Really?
Yeah. So, like, originally the plan was to upscale it from Doomsday, right? Mm-hmm. And we did it. So I have a cap that's Doomsday of that, the whole thing. But in the end, we found the original film. So obviously we did that. But the extras, like the trailers on Project Echo, the secret file, all the bonus features that were on the Japanese Laserdisc, we captured from the Laserdisc, and that's what's on the Blu-ray, cleaned up from that. So yeah, we've used that quite a bit. Chris has essentially a service where he'll capture Laserdisc and stuff through Doomsday. He does a key capture things. He did some Sonic the Hedgehog stuff as well, which is really cool. Mm-hmm. Oh,
that's right. You guys did the like the TV series, right?
Well, no, he did some. He captured. There was like some prototype Sonic 3 stuff done, and he did
Oh,
that.
okay.
So he's definitely on the pulse of that. But yeah, those guys are absolutely amazing. Like if you look at Kinoko, the channel, they put up some really awesome things. Like I don't know if I ever told you, I have some. I had some films, and they like helped me get them transferred. I actually have some master tapes for a bunch of Ninja Turtles stuff, and one of them is like a master tape for one of the theme songs, and they have that, and we're trying to get it transferred. Like work in progress of like a theme song remix or something like that for Ninja Turtles, and I'm curious what's on those tapes. Like I bought them off eBay randomly. I saw them and nobody had seen them.
Really? Oh, that's
yeah.
Were they expensive, or was it?
No, I got them because nobody had known that they were there, so
Oh,
I got them
geez.
for pretty cheap. Like, I think it was like $50 or something, like for one of them. Like it wasn't like absorbent, and like so we've been trying to figure out a person who can transfer them because they're really weird, like they're really weird, like magnetic old style tapes and stuff. So, and the plan would be to just give them to everybody because like I can't do anything with them.
Right.
But like, yeah, I'd like to see what they are because I just had them forever. Yeah, they're from the later seasons, but like there are some sort of like PSAs and stuff too, and like I don't know what to do with it all. But I have that, and like, we've been trying to figure out what to do with it because it's on such a weird magnetic tape format. It's really strange. But yeah, like those guys, the Kinoko guys are excellent. They do excellent work.
That's cool. You know, I didn't watch the whole thing, but I was like, I kind of want to just like download this. Is there like a place to download the actual file?
I don't know. I did see on YouTube. It looked really good though.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
For
I
YouTube,
mean, you could just download it from there, like using like 4K downloader or something. Probably, I guess. Just to have like if you wanted to like put it on like a Plex server or something like that. If you.
Yeah, I don't know if they did that or not. I just know that they put it on YouTube, and it was like, oh, that's so like I remember being super impressed by like how much it looked like a DVD.
Yeah.
Looking at it.
And yeah, but it has like a quality to it that really works for movies like that.
Oh yeah, like the sort of like I don't want to say grindhouse, but like the old film, like like shot on maybe 16 millimeter or whatever, like indie sort of look. Yeah. Oh yeah. Did I tell you, like I set up a Plex server, but then I set up a Raspberry Pi in standard def that is able to stream like DVD rips and VHS captures to my little SD TV and composite.
Oh, that's
and so like I was watching like the old Zelda cartoon and stuff on that CRT through the little Raspberry Pi, and it was like going back to watching it like on old broadcast TV. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, that makes me want to. I'm not sure if you've been following what happened, like with the Mister. Somebody developed the Mister Cast, where you can send anything over your Ethernet or your home network to your Mister, and it will output it to a CRT.
Wow!
They can do like anything on your desktop or anything like that, like any games.
Wow!
And it will. You can put it on a CRT, and it's like one. It uses Groovy MAME, I guess.
Oh wow!
Like a core for that, and it's like it's pretty amazing.
That's awesome.
I have not installed it myself because it's a little bit more complicated to get it up and running. It takes a little. It's not just you put it on your Mister. But I'm wondering if somebody will develop like a script that just like kind of puts everything where it needs to go.
Like I'd like to see like a more media player functionality for it. Like that would be cool. Like downscaling, even if it just downscales a Blu-ray to SD and like or whatnot. But like I have like so many like VHS captures and stuff that like playing them back through that without having to wear down my VCR, right? Like to play it is like worthwhile to me. Like it's so cool. Like and plus also like I just ripped like a DVD to my media server that I have, and then I'm able to watch it that way. Like I ripped all the old Transformers, like the old Legend of Zelda, some of the Mario Super Show, like all like just old cartoons like that. Stuff that's never going to be on Blu-ray and HD, right? Like, and it's fun to watch that way for me. Like I think it's really cool and fun.
Yeah. I see Paul Sutton saying, I laser disc for Man Ministries in case you didn't feel like showing up, and I'd love to get properly digitized. They used to be an all right rip on YouTube. So you say your friends, they do it for hire also, or no?
He does. He does. I mean, he's pretty busy, but yeah, like if you have like especially if you have like a really rare one, like a really rare laser disc, like he would probably but yeah, I could does Paul have like I could talk to him and ask him if he would if he's available to take like a job. I'm not.
Yeah, I'm
not sure how much
if you need to.
Okay, yeah. I can ask him if he's open to do it.
The reason it jumped out at me is because he mentions ministry, and I've been having flashbacks. I don't know if you care about it or not. And I was joking about it to like people I know that I'm usually pretty open-minded, but I saw like some photos and stuff for that upcoming reboot remake of The Crow.
Oh, I haven't seen that. Oh no.
And I was like, immediately I was like, I hate this.
Oh really?
I really hate this.
Who did they get as the Brandon Lee part?
It's the guy who was in It.
Skarsgård?
Yeah.
Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah.
Oh, huh. I can kind of see where they looked at his face and saw Brandon Lee a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, it's more, I guess it's, adapting the comic
book.
Yeah,
right.
But still, I'm saying this as somebody who's, the Crow is like one of my favorite movies of all time, but it is very much, a product of its time, and I don't feel like it could have been made. That's why like none of the sequels worked either. Like I feel like it could only have been made at the exact time that it was made, and and it just doesn't work any other way. And you can't like recreate that.
Well, there's also too like they tried to make that Stairway to Heaven TV show with
right.
Marc, all that sort of, and it never worked as well as that first one because like there was also the thing too is like there was a certain swagger and presence that Brandon Lee had.
Yeah.
That you can't like you really haven't been able to come close to that, right? Like there's that part where I love The Crow. So like there's that part where he goes to that they're at that meeting like who's this Crow guy and all that.
Yeah.
And he walks up and like sits on the table and there's like all this like crazy like just swagger to him that's like energy to like his performance that you can't like they've not managed to bring back. So like I'm very hesitant to think that they could do Crow again. And plus like there's so much stuff in those movies that like they don't R-rated movies don't go that hard anymore. Like it's not a hard like they don't do hard R movies as much like that. And that movie was like really rated R. Like like him just getting like blown away by bullets and not like caring like they wouldn't. It's not that careless. Like I don't know. That movie is like especially of its time. What was it? Alex Proyas directed it, I think.
Right. Yeah.
I just saw Dark City for the first time.
Yeah. Great movie.
That's an amazing like. That movie is like so much practical stuff. That's an amazing movie.
Yeah,
I had never seen that until like last year.
I mean, did you know like the twist to it going in though?
No, I knew nothing about it.
So
my friend said it's like this is an amazing movie. We should watch. Like you've never seen this. You like The Crow. We should watch that.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he did anything else that was even of note after those two because both of those movies look very similar.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
That practical effect that
the transforming city that's all practical like crazy like that blew my mind seeing it.
Yeah, it's just really cool. It has Jennifer Connelly in it too, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
So.
But yes, it's
Strange Days. I just bought that. I've never seen it.
Oh, isn't that? I thought that's like a hard movie to find right now. You can't get there might be a DVD of it, but that's it. I think.
So there's a Blu-ray for it that was in like Sweden or something. That
okay.
I was told like this is the version to get.
Yeah, I mean, a friend of mine was just talking about how it's like impossible to get 28 days later on anything right now.
Oh yeah, because it's out of print. Yeah. It's the same with Dogma as well.
Oh right, yeah. I listened to something where Kevin Smith was talking about how they wanted to do something with Dogma, and it's like Harvey Weinstein like owns it and specifically won't let anybody do anything with it, just as a way to be a dick.
He apparently he's getting to the point where he needs money, I think.
Yeah.
And so like, but they've been offering him money. Like Kevin Smith like got together like $1 million or something to offer him for it, right? He offered it and he wouldn't take it. And he said something to the effect of like, we think he wants like $5 million or something for it, like that. And he's like, even me, like I can't muster that much money together to get it. So they're trying to figure it out. And I know people were like, well, you would be paying Harvey Weinstein that $1 million, right?
Right.
And a guy pointed out like, well, no, like all that money is going to go to his restitution anyway. So like he won't get it. So like that's why I think he feels okay doing it, because he knows that like if he gets that money, it won't go to him.
It's gonna go to his victims.
It goes to his. So like I think he's probably has to like sell that stuff soon anyway. So like I'm hoping he gets that movie back, because that's one of the cooler Kevin Smith movies.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably my second favorite after Clerks. It might even actually be my favorite.
Clerks, what do you feel about Mallrats?
I mean, I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. It's not the one that I would. And being someone who is a big fan of like mall culture of the era, like that's it's not the one I would choose to watch.
Like so, if you're saying like if you had to show somebody like Kevin Smith movies, like these are his movies, it would be either Clerks or Dogma. You would think
probably. Because I think that after Dogma is like there was a definite change. In the way that it felt like he was just trying to be gross for the sake of being as gross as he could. Yeah,
like I thought that Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back was fine, like as a love letter send off.
But even that started to feel like
a little bit. Yeah,
it was just like we're gonna say like come up with these like out of left field ideas of like grossness, It just
I mean, then Clerks 2 with like the pig thing and
exactly, like that. It felt like it was just too much. It didn't feel like genuine at all, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think of his later ones, like Jersey Girl is a more genuine movie than Clerks 2.
Yeah, well, and even more so in Clerks 3. Did you see that?
No, I know that what happens in it. I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't like the.
It has a couple of moments that are like, oh, that's that's nice, like the opening credits are really good in Clerks 3.
Oh, really? I'm curious. Like, I'm curious to see. Like, I want to watch it at some point. Here's the thing. I try not to disparage. Like he was on so much weed at the time. Like, like there's a point where too much of a good thing is like a bad thing, right?
Yes.
And like I think that the amount that he was on probably affected the quality of his work.
100%, yeah.
And I am very curious to see what he produces now that he's quit completely from that.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there might be something there now for him. Like I feel like that adversely affected his output. And I'm not saying that as everybody who partakes is affected that way, but he was so heavily on it, like wake and bake, like all day. Like I shudder to think that did not affect his like output for sure. I mean, he said so himself too.
Yeah.
Right. Like he said,
and his ability to objectively think that things are funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because I mean, that's like a staple of it. It's like,
oh yeah.
You think that like, oh my god, like how did I not think of this before? This is hilarious. And it's like, well, you know what? it's not that funny, really.
Yeah. So like I'm waiting for him to like do something now, right? I think this will be more. Yeah, Chasing Amy also is like, I mean, his early works there are some real classics in there, and then like
After Dogma, I think is like where it happened. Like it, I don't know. They just, I even like Strike Back just did not have that same feel to me.
I like Strike Back enough, but yeah, it's like really goofy. Like I never saw his horror movie Red State.
I think I may have seen parts of it.
It has John Goodman, but I've never seen it. I've never seen it, so I would be interested in trying that out. I think I saw Tusk, which was like Johnny Depp in that is just like completely. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. Just that kind of body horror is not something that I care to.
Yeah, exactly.
Subject myself willingly to.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like it's that was more of a morbid curiosity for me than anything, I think.
Yeah. There 15 minutes ago, it was E.W. Rooney telling me to pick up Alan's gun after you kill him, but I died on him. I'm not sure if you're still here or not, but next time I play this, I will pick up Alan's gun.
Alan's gun. He just gives you a heavy machine gun. But yeah.
Oh, I see. It'd be cool if it was like a unique gun that you could only get there.
A big one, yeah. I love in Metal Slug 3, you kill him, but in the very last level, they repeat that thing where the soldiers help you, but it's like much longer. Mm-hmm. And he comes in and helps you with his big machine gun. At that, like all the soldiers help you again, but he comes in as well and helps you get through like this like death slug of aliens and stuff. It's really cool. Like, these games have like really fun like storytelling in the sprite work, I feel. Like kind of like Sonic 3 even. Mm-hmm. Right? Like they tell the story of like, oh, Knuckles comes in, he must be a bad guy because he like knocks you over. And it's all like there's no dialogue, it's all through like the actions of the characters. And these games have that more so than a lot of other like 2D platform games, I think.
Yeah. You excited about that new Sonic movie?
Oh heck yeah! I'm excited for Knuckles as well. Like I really.
Oh yeah, there's that show is coming out. Yeah, I forgot about that. You know, I it's like we're getting going kind of late here, but I've had probably told it on here on this stream before, but I got a good laugh out of the fact that after we saw Sonic 2, and we knew that they were making a third one. There was a gentleman's club down the road from my house where I live called the Playpen. And one day I was taking my kids to school, and my son really doesn't know what the place is, right? Yeah. And it's like, oh, look, it looks like they're like filming like a movie in there or something like that. Because there's like a cube truck with all kinds of like light stands and all this other stuff in the back, like all this like filming equipment, which it'd probably be a place to, Now, like the film, like it's like a movie with a budget. It looked like it was.
Yeah.
And my son's like, oh, maybe they're filming Sonic 3. I mean, aww. I guess like, and then someone had mentioned to me, it's like Sonic goes to a bar in every single in the first two movies at some point. Like it's not unheard of.
Oh, that's so adorable that he'd be like, maybe it's Sonic, Dad.
Maybe it's Sonic 3. And I'm like, I doubt it, but Sonic does go to a bar in both of the other movies, so maybe.
Keep the dream alive, yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I love that they managed to do that trick of like not only Sonic 3 coming out this year, but it's Sonic 3 and Knuckles coming out this year.
Yeah.
Like oh, that's perfect. And I think it's fun. I like that they're for kids. Like that's actually a kids movie. Like it's not like an adult movie that you drag your kids to. Like I feel like Marvel movies are that. Like they're meant for adults. You can drag kids to them, but there's like so much stuff in those movies that's not really like appropriate for actual kids. So like I'm glad like the Sonic movies are there to be for kids. Same with the Mario movie, right? Like that's definitely a kids movie, right? But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait for CG Shadow and CG Sonic to be fighting a giant lizard in space while Crush 40's blaring in the background and like Jim Carrey's back there maniacally laughing. Like I am in for it completely.
Yeah, because you know that they're just going to go. I mean, even in 2, they really went all in.
Oh yeah. Well, the Crush 40 guys hinted that they're doing something for the movie, so like they have to be doing Live and Learn. Like they have to be like they have to know that's what people want.
Yeah, well, and that is, it's like that is probably the Sonic theme song when it comes down to it.
To like the unless it's like Green Hill Zone, right? It's Live and Learn.
Yeah.
The Crush 40. So I can't wait to see it. I'm excited for it. I do have a funny filming story. So where I live, they would film House of Cards here.
Okay.
In my town, like they would film it here because it was I live outside DC, so it would double for DC, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like so they would film here, and they filmed at our like town hall or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And
like I remember telling somebody, "Oh yeah, they're filming down here at the town hall." Like, "Oh, that's so cool! Like, is it really neat?" I'm like, "No, I couldn't go and get my trash stickers. Like, I couldn't go get trash stickers, right? Like they're in the way."
Yeah.
And they closed town hall so I could get trash stickers. It's like, oh, like also my buddy, like I wasn't really into it. My buddy was really into it. And there was some episode where they kidnap like one of the characters' daughters or whatever, and they hide her in like protective custody in this place. And we're watching. He was watching. He's like, man, like they were talking up this place. They were hiding her, and they're like, it was just like the place behind the Joppatown flea market, like the rundown houses there. And like in the show they portrayed it as something like completely different, and it was like, oh, it's just the dumpy apartments behind the flea market near us.
It destroys the illusion.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like I imagine if you live in California, like knowing all those places like really ruins TV shows and stuff. Like, oh, that's like down the road or whatever, right?
Well, I think that's gonna do it. This was fun. This is.
I had a lot of fun. Thank you for having me again.
Yeah. Anytime. Thanks for jumping in here such short notice, and
no problem. Anytime.
Yeah.
Anytime I can make it. Anytime you want me, I can make it. I will be here to be your bootleg try, I guess. So long as I say like enough, right?
That's the prerequisite, right?
Prerequisite.
But anyways, thank you to everybody who donated. And I hope everyone I hope everyone has a great week. If anybody watches on Twitch, I'll be back doing some Yakuza PS2 original on Tuesday from 8 to 9ish a.m.
8 to 9 a.m. Oh, cool.
Yeah, I like to call it coffee in a game. I stream Tuesdays and Fridays. Although this last Friday I did not stream because my son was homesick from school. What is
the MLiG Twitch channel?
It's just Twitch / My Life in Gaming. And usually it's just me, just going solo. So it's not super talkative. Just a cool hangout session while we have coffee, and we are closing in on the end of Yakuza.
I did not know you streamed there.
Well, I mean, it's only something I've been only doing it for like a month now or so.
Okay.
But it's just a fun hangout.
If I'm awake that early, I'll try to check it out.
Yeah, please do.
Cool.
But anyways,
thank you so much again.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, take care, everybody. Have a good week.
Peace outside.